because of the forward positions you could get with the Yuri and the chamber. So you want to kind of muster up like 4 or 5 rounds if you can here. Especially when you have these 4 ults to work with, it would be a great opportunity to figure out how you can leverage that. Get the best out of the rounds for the remaining rounds of this half.
Jeez. 20. Yeah.
Yeah, Madrid سنة ثلاثة.
All right, at least they're still vibing.
They feel there's a lot of game left to play here. Maps even. Operators are there. Odin starts to get
Vinicius marca
over by Brock.
تحشو.
And they get slowed down on what is kind of an A search here by the dimensional drift. But again, straight down mid, rinse and repeat for NRG. They're going to cover each other and they're going to swarm the map instantly. This has to feel uncomfortable for LEV. They're like, we don't see anything. Where's NRG?
This is actually really good. Even if the drone spots Mana, it forces him to fall back so Calm could stay alive with the Hunter's Fury. And you don't think that they're going to reflank once again for a second time.
That
so
is
LEV's in a prime
safety.
position for a post plant.
That safety does help if Calm can keep himself alive. Oh, Mata finds the head of Sato. They don't know that that door is just wide open in the moment. Another one from Mata and Jenny, and they're going to keep flying into the site. It's just Calm. There's not enough Hunter's Fury in the world to make this happen, and Sam dives forward as Scuba gets the defuse.
That was so nice. I'm going to have to see from different perspectives if we can hear from NRG's side. But it seems like Calm was just looking for a right timing. I think, though, when the Rosebud came up here for a flash towards Jenny, he just popped the Hunter's Fury towards the spawn just to try to take him down and try to put him out where the position was prime here. For
الفيديو والله تعالى. كوكو ولي 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 لي زامي. لي زامي كاينين في يوتيوب. شوف باش تبقاو تكتبوا هنا بقاو تكتبوا انا ما عنديش مشكل. ندو معاكم باش تبقاو تكتبوا في تويتش بقاو تكتبوا في تويتش. المهم انا طارق فيهم بجوج.
Accessing some of that, we heard Scuba talking to Pedro in an interview about how they practice, how they're playing kind of outside the server, and they need to bring that to the stage. And it's usually tough to rely on that, right? You're kind of saying like, hey, if we can just do X, it's gonna work. That's exactly kind of how he coined it. If we can keep that control of the game and play our game, the Vietnam has to react to everything. Our opponents don't have a chance. Exactly. And it seems like they've tapped into that.
When they're in the driver's seat, you're definitely seeing here from first picks to throwing to sites and anchors to even retakes. Everything seems to be working to perfection for the side of NRG. We just talked about a timeout before that could have been quite nice to leverage this Yoru and Sova. They lose it now into this round number 11 for the side of Leviathan. Razorvine at least still available.
خذ يوتيوب خذ يوتيوب اكونمي
has that Odin.
خذ يوتيوب راه طالع ستريم من يوتيوب.
That could be a nice advantage for him to use for an actual hit into the site. But it stays the default. Pop flash, control towards the gate once again. Ethan after this usually just throws a knife to see how many is towards main. He's gonna hold on to it for now because he has full confidence in Mata. Anchoring up this site.
مدريد بحال انا هو في فلورنتينو بيريز. خذ يوتيوب الصاد. اللي كنت تاكل العصا الصدر ضحكوا عليهم انرجي الدراري بالرجل.
It looks fearless this game with these op push forwards. This time he doesn't even have protection as he didn't last in a main. And he can hear that for sure. So he least has one footstep running around. That's going to say they're running away from me. You see him setting up the tree now, just waiting.
Go.
And that call exactly allows Ethan to throw the knife.
دراري ديال اليوتيوب ما عرفتش شحال نتوما ولكن
يكسو شي ناس جداد من هنا
عرفوني ما نديرش كاميرا حيت عندي بروبليم.
4 players holding here for NRG. Big flash, support and assist somehow from downtown.
Absolutely, that paranoia hit Sato. He had to back up. It came from the anchor on A. Sam has never left, and they're just going to be running through with the shorties. Lev's trading it back, though. They're just stringing together a stripe of kills back and forth on that kill feed. And that's going to be the TP for Okeanos. They call upon
double
TP. Two veterans of NRG here. What can he do with the Guardian? It's going to be separate for the entry right now, but they'll meet before they get to that position for Okeanos. They are wondering if he's going to push up and take space, so they give some time.
It's no smoke.
We're also waiting for some smoke to come back up so they could isolate at least and block vision from spawn. Ethan already used his knife earlier on.
Actually just leaves it up to Sam. And Ethan says, yo, you've been on, let's do it. He jumps in for him, and Sam still cleans it up because he can get close and get the trade to overwhelm Okeanos. Another round now, 9-2 for NRG.
That is giving a lot of confidence to Sam. It almost feels like Ethan said, let me just jump out and
seriously.
try to go for the insta swing for the trade. They didn't get it in the very beginning, but everything that worked out for NRG in that round, again, was thanks to Sam. Throwing smokes inside the site when everybody's hit by that steel garden, and they're playing shorties inside smoke, dominating Leviathan on the hits. And he also finishes the round with a shorty kill against the rookie Okeanos.
كيفكر بالزربه كثرت ملاعبين الجو اخي
Leviathan with no timeouts left for the map. They're just looking to get anything here for the last round. A little bit of a faster pace. They're now conditioning and actually fighting that line through the smoke towards A main, but King just died here towards that B site.
لاعبين على
these rounds just because they peek a corner for some reason. NRG is still on it. Even another scope there from Scuba.
Just trying to go for the long range.
I mean, it makes sense. Again, it's slow pacing coming up from Leviathan when you're in the mid round, so there's great possibilities of walking into crosshairs. And of course, they're having so much money, so you can just buy those extra weapons.
They have the two-door look, still keeping the crossfire. They're not going to actually close it. They're going to make it feel awkward and just fire down the tree. Oh my gosh, turning back and forth. They clean up a lot of the members of LEV, but Calm.
What a big!
Stop! All right, cut the tape. You have to clear that off.
What a big! What the fuck?
No. Oh, maybe he thought his shoe was untied. You
I
never
think
know.
he did a Jordan Gilbert flashbang dance.
Okay.
ولا بيك دار ليه دخل عليه وياه
They're
حك
definitely
عليه
feeling it. That's going to be the 10-2, so that is half. That's one way to cap it off for NRG, but let's... He did it.
He did it!
He did it. He did the thing. Oh my God.
يضحك عليه
That
what
is
the fuck
too
الدراري اللي ما داخلش الدراري حاولوا
we do
تلقاو
have a break to take still, but there's more of that right after.
سيمultanément لي دو ستريم يوتيوب وتويتش الا كان ممكن
I
الدراري
know what you're thinking. Total glow up. What's her
كاين 4
secret?
ديال الفيورز اللي كاينين كيتفرجوا الله يرحم لهم الوالدين
I totally upgraded with Verizon.
والدراري ديال
Everyone
اليوتيوب
gets a free
كتبوا
phone
زعما
with
بالشاطره
any
كتقرا
plan,
ميساجات
even
ديالك
if you're already a customer, like me. Now I have Google Gemini. It's like a little glam squad in my pocket. Gemini, what eye makeup goes with this lipstick? I'd suggest a
انا
plastic
وثاني
eye. Wow.
W.
Setting the bar high for daycare pickup.
دبليو
Get in on this.
شوف لا يوتيوب محركه يوتيوب فيها 4 الناس انسانه وحده اللي كتسبامي في الشهر انجي ولا انسان شي واحد يبقى داخل بشي كونت فوق ناري سيمو انت موديراتور شماك انت سيمو موديراتور شماك كاع داخل بالتخرج العينين بزويه مستريمي هنا مستريمي في تويتش وفي يوتيوب عشيري او ميم طون باش نستافدوا شويه من يوتيوب تا هو نطلعوا عليه الارقام ديالو فهمت يا بو انس لي زيفون يا دابا هي الطوب تشاتر تماك تساطر تخيل معايا الساك واش عشيه تخيل معايا كيعطيوكم الدراري كيعطيوكم باتش الدراري في يوتيوب اوتوماتيكمون ويلكم شوف بلي مزيان نمشي لليوتيوب انا بلي نحرك الشاط بلي الشاط هذا معلم انا حتى اللي بلي انا محرك على تويتش والله الا يوتيوب مزيان يا معلم.
We are back for the second
والله
half of a set here
وصل
in our
المونديال
lower bracket matchup in the playoffs and elimination
لا يوتيوب الدراري
series. And
فاهم
NRG is going to
فيورز
go ahead and
كيكتبوا
start it off with a 10
ناري وليتي
lead,
ثاني
and
خاورك
now they
سيمو
take the attack
ديرك
side.
بلاصتك سيمو خاورك سيمو
It just gave me
هادشيها
flashbacks also
فاسون
like
هادشيها
Otta
ناسون
that did like a 360 on Crone with an
He
op.
did do a 360.
تخيل معايا موراليكس هو الاولاني هو هاشتاغ 1 بروزو لا راه غنبداو نديرو هاد اللعبه جو تيك توك
That's only twice.
You know,
اصبر انا
in
نطلع
the
تيك توك من البيسي
VCTs that he's
بورطابل
done this.
اصبر
And two of them on the
اصبر
stage.
نطلع لايف من تيك توك من البيسي بورطابل اصبر والله
Stage
تا
two. But
غيعاودوها
nonetheless, we talked about here a
No, it didn't.
great
No,
start from
actually,
NRG in the
so-
beginning, despite them losing the piss around.
غنطلع عليهم اللايف جي
That's
نتويتش
probably the silver lining that you want here from
من تيك
Leviathan.
توك
That at least you have two rounds in your
أصبر.
pockets and now you're holding the defensive
اصبر
side.
اصبر موراليك
This is
اصبر
where the tip of the spear
انا
Mata
نقدد الجوان هذا وانا معك اصبر
is going to try to activate now as they're looking for a quick pop towards his B site.
Not ready yet.
Looks like it was just to hold if
اليوتيوبر
the
بدارهم
flash did get contact.
اليوتيوبر
Paranoia was gonna be used
عندك
for that, but it will now be used for the site.
اول مره غنطلع لايف في يوتيوب
Yeah, they zoom right in. They can't follow just yet. That wall is going to keep a few out, as you can see on the mini map here. But playing the smoke.
ماركو من
Playing
بول
a
فاش
little
يطلع
trick.
يوتيوب
He turns the moment that he needs to be
صدر
looking. The
تحكوا عليهم في
timing
المنطقة.
is so unfortunate, but somebody's got to be on the fortunate end of it, and NRG waltzes right into B.
Kind of just left Calm hanging there when King got to miss that timing, so that's just unfortunate. It almost looked like it was a call that Calm needed support towards that lane, so he tried to go for an assist to trade off on that side, but man, NRG
يوتيوب
found the
الدراري
perfect timing.
بحال
Again,
هكا
still dictating the pace.
8 فيور والله والله على 8 فيور الدراري لا موندياليتي
It's going to be a tough way to get it to a tie
غادي
up or
بحال هكا
even
بشوي بشوي
get into the lead here now for LEV with the way that NRG is playing. They have
شوي
a few
شوف
more
بعض
rounds. They
الدراري
should
اللي
be
كانوا
able to
كيتفرجوا
cap
ما
this
داروش
one off
F6.
and put an immense amount of pressure on the bonus round.
Yeah, and it's a Hail Mary play for Leviathan, 11-2 already. You just want to try to go for some
يوتيوب
sort of
اصبر
a
انا
force.
سيري دابا
Tech's only playing Headhunter bullets.
غنطلعوا
Sato
لهم
with the
لايف
sheriff.
في تيك توك اصبر غنطلعوا لهم
That
تيك
Sato
توك
could potentially play our hero rifle into the next round to save Leviathan, unless these sheriffs will be able to do something, which is why you're seeing this double escape play from Tex and Sato to take mid control, but they've already lost Tex.
Yeah, they're trying to play some forward angles.
شوت
Spike down.
One of them
B.
counts. Taking down Ethan is a good
8
one.
فيور مزيانه
Stickers
لا
on the other side could really make a difference. You got to consider if there's no more peeking from Lev and they play all the close angles of a site, this could get scary
دير اخويا تيك توك
for the side of NRG once they push in.
شنو هو تيك توك هذا اصبر
He
والله
just
تعجبني
threw a
السم
smoke
هو
towards A
تيك توك.
main, so he has no more smoke for himself inside the site. So the next best thing you do is you're gonna be
Marco, ما
selfless.
تيك
You're
توك
gonna
راه
have
نقدر
to
نطلع
counter
هنا.
paranoia
Yep.
and try to help out the rest of the team.
تا راه كاينه اونلي
Finding
فان
the top from
الصاد
heaven.
There goes.
طلع لكم شي لايف اونلي
Dash
فان
into the
الدراري
smoke. Mata's trying to break some ankles. Get the crosshairs focused on him. Sato's going to go right through the box and actually take down Mata. And Sam and Brock know they have to push forward. Find their marks. And this is going to make Lev scramble now to get back into position. It looks like they broke the defense that was the most worrisome for NRG. And they should be able to clean this round up.
Just another beautiful.
هي مزيانه
execution by
ورينا
Kings.
واش
Could maybe surprise some players here.
تولي ما تدخل مع الدار دابا شاش
So close to giving him a haircut.
تيك توك اي حاجه درتيها تبان انا ندير شي حاجه راه كنتفرجوا في هادشي وعندي لاكسيلي
That low, Calm though. Calm doesn't have any util coming up. It's going to be tough on that entry. Oh,
King has
just
flash,
came up. It just came up. He uses that to get to a safe spot. He gives him entry into the site, but Brock and Scuba are ready. A few more of the rookies to bring NRG to game point here on map 1.
I just want to get back into what Mimi was saying at the desk and Slideshow were mentioning at the desk as well, that how
They've
good
really
NRG
good
are
place.
at the executions towards these
سالي
sites.
لعبوا لي
Yeah.
كوبلاش
It's not
Resetting
only,
in the moment.
exactly, and it's not
How
only
do
with the
we have to do
paranoia,
this?
they actually threw the recon and the vice flash. So
Oh,
what
كيش
you really
انستال
look at, you're trying to turn
انستال
away from the
الدراري
news,
تيك
you maybe
توك
trying to break the
غنطلع
flash
من تيك توك
from the
الدراري
blinds, you're
عاودوا
getting pinged from heaven, so you can't really get any value from the counter paranoia that Okeanos is throwing from the back of the dice. There's too much util coming through, and the basic berries, it's working out. They're making it work for the
تسمع
little util that they
كبيسو
have
تسمع كبيسو ولا تعب بيسو
to take full advantage here of this map against
كبيسو ولا
Leviathan.
تعب بيسو الصاد راه انتوما هنا
Brock
خصكم
topping the board
تكبيسو
now,
ولا تعب
16
بيسو
kills there. I think I coined it a quietly consistent, right? It's not the guy that's yelling, he's not standing up, but he's always there, putting up the brick
طلع
wall with
لايف
his
تيك
energy
توك
on
حتى هو
that
باش
defense or
تفرجوا
attack
فيك
side that you're going to be
مسات في
running
نفس
into.
الوقت واخا هو
They
دقيقه
let Lev make a mistake here. They're just kind of watching angles until they run some time down to get
هي اللي كندير
positions in.
دابا انا
Yeah,
كنهات
he's
شو
just trying to leverage Tex
انا
and Sato
كنطالي
again.
فيها
Sato has enough money to go for the Vandal, but Tex is doing it with no armor.
عجبت مع دوك
Walk
صحاب
down
تيك
lanes
توك
once
شكال
King has to play the jiggle, but he's doing against Mata. Player who's been top ACS and challengers.
لا كيك ما يخليوليش حجبارة بلا تشيب كيك هسا تشيب
Quite up there here for the Americas. As there you go, King falls back after the initial hit. Comms there for the support. No dart though to help out.
Oh, knowing the dart comes in, King plays off comm there, so huge on the duo site hold as Tax is there as well. They start stacking them tall and knocking down NRG. Trying to double face here for a moment. They get the angle onto comm. How many more are going to face though? How many more? Ethan gets another shot, gets the Phantom.
Oh my god!
The finalizer on a set for NRG.
Another game where the IGL comes in big.
And he did it again. I mean, he had to pick up a gun, but he did it again. He did it again.
Okay, that was unintentional.
That was unintentional, but
Still
he did
flashing.
it again.
Yeah, he did again. He did the thing.
He did the thing.
But definitely from top to bottom, man, this NRG team was looking quite good. Not only shooting, but looking pretty good in terms of team synergy and the preparation that they have.
لا دي فوق حسب
that
دابا
they
كيسرح
brought up
حسب
here against
الجو
Leviton. Remember, we haven't seen this type of composition or their map since April, and they were still able to come up prepared. But that also tells from the side of Leviton that they're trying to trust their own game.
الله عليك الله عليك الله عليك الله
NRG can bring.
عليك.
So you think that your own type of playstyle will be enough?
صدر بحال كانوا هما اللي لاعبين على
It
12
wasn't. Not that time. NRG come out absolutely flying to start off this series in a very, very big way. We're going to be stepping away, but up next, GB and the analyst desk will break down map number 1. Don't go anywhere.
صدر 15 اتش بي صافي 15 اتش بي. ويلا كملوا لنا التيك توك انا الله نسوي تيك توك. ما دويت نسمع الصوت ديال الفي سي تي كثر منك ياك. راه واحد الفيلم قبيله شيري كتيلتيت في واحد اللقطه الصاد وضربت المايك وانا نقودها. دابا تكونوا كتسمعوني مزيان ياك. دابا عرفتكم تبداو تسمعوني مزيان. حتى كتسناو باغا تلقاو في تيك توك تلقاو لايف في تيك توك الدراري. لا ما خدمه لا ما مستريمش فيها. واش كاين لك تسيوي بجوج دقه واحده ياس. وماذا يقولون؟ ماذا سنفعل؟
Y otra vez se vuelve a suceder, a ver cómo la define, porque Tex todavía no puede ganar, 1-1. Mantiene la cazadora de cabezas, está nada de piquear net, ¡lo tiene a derecha!
ديك اللعيبه باش كيقدروا هاي صبر خلينا نقادوا اللعيبه ديال وحنا درنا سكونكتي وطلقنا للفراشه.
NRG Bonkar, I don't really know what to say at this point. 13-2 stealing their map pick of Ascent. I'm gonna ask you to diagnose that map. Was it, you know, they shouldn't have picked it? Was it just you had the right read?
Cool, calm, and collected. That's the 3 words I have for it.
All right, well, best of luck on map 2. Those were like 5 or 6 words.
And oh no, Leviathan hitting him with the LeBron meme too. You hate to see it. Oh no, yeah, well there, I think that is a perfectly fine thing to post when you just won 13-2 on your opponent's map pick. Holy crap, everyone, that was insane.
Yeah, we talked a lot in the pre-show about how good NRG's defense is. If we get to attack on it, they played 3 rounds on the attacking side. It was all defense, and they absolutely decimated this side of the map. In particular, the side anchors, I feel like, were getting away with murder throughout this one. It started with this round from Scuba, and just kept going.
I mean, that is an amazing round from Scuba, because that's a chance for LEV to get back into the game. Ruined. This round is brilliant. Optics first contact, and then you go back into a player over towards CT, and then some teleports into backside. 3 different layers of B defense that you have to get through.
And whether it's actually him on the site or just helping out his teammates, Sam did a great job of always having these anchor smokes set up for his teammates to support, and they did such a good job. That round they're getting hit by the steel guard and no guns. Doesn't matter, they still win it.
And don't forget too, on the flank with that op, just so comfortable every single freaking time.
Punishing LEV. He was so aggressive, oftentimes alone, just walking through, cutting their options, and because of that, LEV was always NRG was always so far ahead with these defensive rotates.
NRG played perfectly. Like, the whole point of that attack comp is to get your chamber onto deep positions. NRG just hold back, and because I said it earlier, they're like a brick wall. It's so difficult to get them through.
But there were some moments that Leviathan had, but Mimi, it just crumbled so many times.
And I've been a little negative today. And there was a round that I really didn't like, but Josh, you're the voice of positivity on this show. So break this round down positively.
Sado ults in, great ultimate. They take the site. It's fantastic. You're perfectly set up. You just have a steel garden that you use as they start to retake. Okeana starts to get the smoke back. Oh, look, smoke. Oh no, we've died to the KO molly while smoking. King, rip your ultimate! Stop them retaking with your ultimate, King!
You can't do it.
I thought you were turning a corner.
You chungus. I'm looking at this and I'm like, please, I'm begging you. You haven't won a round since the pistol and the follow-up. You have all the ults in the world. You just Yoru ult in.
I
don't know what Vice says in the Steel Garden, but she's like, oh, Steel Garden! And like, that's it. They can't
Wait. Is that how it's all Steel?
I don't think that's what she said.
I think that's how it looks, yeah.
She does. She's like, planting my plants or something.
Bring me your arsenal.
Right, bring me your arsenal, like that kind of thing. And like, it's a slam dunk
They
round.
didn't use it that round, and then they used it on their next post plan on A when they hadn't even taken the site yet, and they get ruined by shorties.
I'm dying of cringe.
There really was something off.
This was also a map where we needed to see the Tex rebound on Chamber. On the attacking side, you've got to be great. And he has another stinker map.
Yeah, I was Desmo, I would have harsh words.
Well, speaking of Desmo, I'm glad you said that. Let's see what he has to say going into map 2. That'd be harsh.
For the coach Leviathan, Desmo, now what you want to see on your own map pick. 13-2 defeat. You took a little bit to come out here talking to your boys out there. What did you talk about?
Basically we just like make a big deal of just hard mental resetting, just laughing it off. We got absolutely stomped, and sometimes that happens. Focusing on the things that we can fix for next maps. Which is? I can't say that. Yeah, just focusing on those like, well, fundamental things, and just hard resetting, laughing it off. We got absolutely outclassed, and that's just the truth, right? Just gotta do better next time.
Best of luck.
I mean, the next map that they're going into is Icebox, which is potentially a difficult one anyway. We've seen these two teams play on Icebox and Haven, and it was really close. I mean, there is no analysis for their defense side. You can't be Desmo and look at that and say anything about the defense side. You can only focus on the attack. And the issues that I was seeing stemmed all the way from not being able to generate picks to get you an advantage, through to not being able to crack through anchors, through to misplaying post-plant scenarios. So I think it's going to be tough to get through Icebox. I don't know, just send it. Just send it.
But the thing is the sending it part kind of backfired a couple times for these guys. I mean, I feel like there have been a lot of these engagements where they try and take space into the site right away, try to send it, and then there's just miscoordination there. Something needs to change.
But it's a very different map, a lot more of you play a lot less of the slow macro attack side rounds where you're trying to embed alert. They were also playing this double senti comp where you're kind of forced to slow down, try and get embeds up mid. Here on Icebox, you can just full send, and with Sato and Oki trying to work in conjunction, I think it has to be those two rookies who were a part of the big turnaround that Leviathan had in Stage 2 to keep them in playoffs and in the running for champions whatsoever.
While the stat is true that they haven't won on Icebox in Stage 2, it was 2 13-11 losses, one of them to NRG. So it's not to say that they can't come back in this game.
Sure.
But it's going to be so tough.
Sure. You heard from our analysts here. Let's see what goes on when Riven Van Silly meets you on the other side after this short break.
We are back for map number 2, and we're gonna chill out on some Icebox here and see if Leviathan can figure out a way to bring us to a map 3. Have righted the ship after that first game.
I don't want to see Leviathan chilling, man. They're just
no, we're chilling. They got to do something. They got to turn up the heat and come out at 13.
And looking at it from the side of Leviathan, I mean, at least from NRG, nothing changes. This is something that they've played before, and also potentially here it's something that Leviathan's played in the past, but then after losing 11-13 to Loud on this map, they switched over to a more basic Sage comp and also lost 11-13 against none other than NRG. But if anything, it went to the distance. It also came down to those star duelists once again, Sato and Mata playing Jets and carrying the charge for both of these teams. So I'm hoping to see a little bit of that. If you want to see some resurgence out of Leviathan, it's how they're able to bounce back after such one-sided defeats. I think that could be the positive outcome if you're looking at, and you've been a fan of Leviathan and following Leviathan for this stage, is their capability to be able to bounce back when they're getting thrashed.
King's gonna be a big voice here. Always is. You can see him hyping him up right now. Double axe hit to come up behind him and just knock him out. That's what we got to do to every single person. No, look at the hype though.
Yeah, is he hyping or is he praying?
He's doing a little bit of both, especially after that first match. But you can see they are not really worried about this. Okeano saying, hey man, it may not look like it, but I'm always nervous. It doesn't. It doesn't look like it.
Please, bring me the pistols.
They do. They had a better pistol coming in. They still do. They can collect a few more, but they got to run after it. They got to figure out a way to get through NRG with the bonus and carry those rounds, because right now the rifling and that macro is in favor of NRG. Let's get on to Icebox here for our second map, a first series of the day. Still, that elimination game between NRG and Leviathan here, and NRG is up one map.
That's right. What's at stake here is whoever loses this one, it's pretty much out there. They have no more chances for champs. Leviathan have to make top 2. If NRG are able to topple Leviathan, it's a race between them, 100 Thieves and Cloud9, which will happen after this series. All tied up in points for circuit points for the last 3 aforementioned teams.
Yeah.
But focusing in this second map, Leviathan looking for that orb control denial, or orb denial control over towards that A main. Interesting 1-3-1-2. It's a turret that's trying to find some early information on top belt or even the front of 410. And you're going to try to delay here for the side of Som, and the rest are trying. I thought they were trying to flank.
ترى راسي ميوت المايك هنا وانا كنقول لكم واش كتسمعوني الدراري في تيك توك.
Very comfortable
الو
position.
الدراري.
Already pushed up a lot. He's going to meet the turret though. Tech stays back far enough. They're going to waterfall into the site from the top side here and still have Mana as insurance if any of this goes sideways. Oh, so sneaky. Ethan just slows it down a moment.
تسمعوني في تيك توك الدراري، تسمعوني. الو الدراري ديال تيك توك. الو.
As that is a quick defused for NRG.
دريجي اليوتيوب.
They continue their dominance.
A rough look,
دريجي تويتش.
especially as we've been praising the high pistol round rates coming out from Leviathan. Losing two crucial ones in this series so far. One to try to bring back the momentum for the second map. One just to stay alive on the first map. But I am expecting now with this double slice composition from both the Harbor and the Virus.
دابا مع الشاط هنا.
Probably
لا
going to
داب.
brawl within these sides here for both teams.
الدراري اللي في تيك توك اخوتي اللي في تيك توك.
Have them now for Leviathan again, just trying to get back towards this A side. Nobody wants
الدراري اللي
to
في
play
تيك
this
توك.
time around, not even a turret.
تعرفوا تويتش.
It's going to be placed
فولوونا
a
في
little bit
تويتش.
deeper into A,
جو.
so they could commit a little bit further into the site.
كبيسو كبيسو ولا تعبيسو.
They get some turret behind them.
واش خالي خالي ولا خالتي ما عرفت كيجوك الريال اليوم غنعاودوا الماتش دابا شويه نعاودوا الماتش ما تفرجتش فيه كامل نتفرج في الميطه الاولى.
So they don't get waterfalled on too hard. They can't give up that position.
Oh, Som Gens.
Okeanos through the wall. He knows how the Harbor's played. He knows how this flows.
برو غير خارج خذ راحتك عشيري تجي على خاطرك. انا باقي مستريمين مونا اذا ملي هذا بحال هكا اذا نديرو بحال هكا تيك توك. واش غنلقى راسي انا دابا خصني نشوف تيك توك ستوديو.
Probably trying to recover yourself from 410 and also anybody playing towards the top of A tower. So at least you could
انا ما طلعتش لي اللايف ديالي. لا هو كيطلع الدراري وريح وريح اللايف ديالي طالع في تيك توك انا مشهور. انا ما طلعتش لي اللايف ديالي. لا هو كيطلع الدراري وريح تيك توك وريح. ولادي ثلاث الشاطات الدراري غنولي مشهور انا وغندير الفلوس. وريح وي غنديروا الفلوس.
And Som's playing long distance with the Outlaw, so
في مزيانه بحال هكا الدراري اللي كيفولو.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
There you could see just kind of strafing into position. Nobody really had aim on NRG members, but they were a step ahead. And now they're a player ahead on this one. Okay, never mind.
Never
That's
mind.
a shot from Com apparently.
غير هو معطل هاني المهم نتوما شوفوا نتوما بقى واحد اللي داكشي باش نشوفوا الفيلم. كبيسو ولا تعبيسو اخوتي يلا. اور ما عندك اصلا. ناري 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 يلا ايتن انرجي صاك باغي نصيفطونا ماب ثالث هاد الدراري باغي نصيفطونا ماب ثانيه. يوتيوب نتوما ناعسين يوتيوب 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 ناعسين الدراري. نبقى ندير لكم لابيل دابا. نبقى ندير لكم لابيل الدراري.
different angles that you're watching from the main fight in the front of 410 towards spawn and then from jail.
والله نبدا ندير لكم لابيل.
Nathan gets so many kills out of that. At least some great support.
يوتيوب حاضرة. تيك توك حاضرة.
There, see, they've carried now the bonus. And Lev is struck for money here. They get tagged up pretty good by a shock dart just to start this round too.
Yeah. Right now, I'm not too sure if you want to invest for the side of energy to guarantee rounds because so far just the position and the way that they're working.
واعر هاد اللعيبه برا ولكن مزيانه الصاد دابا دان كوتي كتقسم الستريم ديالك بزاف تاع لي بارتي. دان كوتي كتقارص تقسم الستريم ديالك بزاف تاع لي بارتي.
Not like that.
والله لا شي فيه كبيسو ولا تعبيسو الدراري يا سلام. يا سلام.
Instantly stalled out on that, and I think energy's in that confidence.
وفي لوريوطاس والله لا سعداتكم ما تيك توك برا. والله لا الدراري ديال تيك توك مبرعين عشيري والله لا. سعداتكم اخوتي.
Position with a little bit of room to work with, and you can use it against your opponents that much.
اخباركم انا عندي دابا شي عام ونص عندي ندير لايفات في تيك توك وما كنديرهمش. لا عام ونص عندي وما كنديرهمش اصلا. كون بدينا بكري كره صافي. كره بلبلناها اليبوك. لا كره بلبلناها اليبوك اصلا.
And this is important. And that's what I wanted to see a couple of rounds ago. You guys sound upset when they had those 4 ults that, you know,
خاشي سبع داري وجينا السبع الصاد. صوفاه اتسبع انا هو صوفاه شوف.
In terms of leveraging, what's the next step as soon as you're able to take sight? You get the basics down,
دير شي لايف كتب فيه ديرو تشا راه يمكن عندك اكسي اخويا ديرو بي اش ال لو ولكن انت ما عندكش ادمين عندك ادمين باج فيسبوك ديالي السيمو خلي تيلي خلي تيلي السيمون قدو هادشي كامل دابا هادشي كامل كنتيستي دابا هادشي كامل كنتيست اللايف ديالي حاطو في تويتش وفي يوتيوب وفي تيك توك تيستي ونشوفو بهذا الشيء كامل هاني لا اي جات عندنا واش ما كوبي عندي الجروب الجروب باي ذا واي الجروب غنبداو ندخلو فيه الدراري ديال فانتازي واللعيبات انونسير انا هو دوك الجروب ديال بي اش ال اللي غتكون فيه لي زيدي والهضرات ديال ولي زانونس ديال بي اش ال فانتازي ماشي غير فانتازي الكونتوني اللي غنديرو بزاف ديال اللعيبات
for NRG to utilize for the retake as well. At least they got a player inserted. You have Tex inside kitchen, but oh no, he's gonna get spotted now by the Reckoning.
Got a lot to move.
سات ليفياتان كتحس بهم الساط كبر عليهم الماتش.
Backing up, just quickly checking the rear. King pretty far away from the fight, but it doesn't matter. Sato is able to clean up a few kills as they try to enter from the high side of the site.
واش مون فرير كاباي وات ار يو دو كاباي دخل اليوتيوب تا هو راه طالقين فيه لايف وتيك توك تا هو قودوها العالميونس
Brock waiting, almost a knee shot onto Calm. Nice job to waste time there. Looks like he'll save his Vandal out of this. Already has Hunter's Fury for next round. Oh, are they going to be able to get him on the cross? Nah, he keeps it safe. Lev, pick up a round. It costs a bit of the team, but that's exactly what they need to be, is right on the board.
That's why even King was falling back. He really wants to save his weapon.
صدر كرتوني مليح عندهم والله.
4 rounds in a row, so hunting the last kill wouldn't make
صافي انرجي مشات فيها والله ما قلت شي حاجه اصاحبي علاش كتقول تسبوا فيا كورميز اصاحبي وانا راه قلت انا داواس كنقول الناس اللي كتدخل لتيك توك تحياتي ياك وقلوبات الدراري كنشوفكم راه كيطلعوا لي السبيات اللي كيدخلوا الدراري ديال تيك توك واللي باغي يشتبع على السول حنا في يوتيوب وتويتش تسقل كاباي كيضحك بان لي بزوي رافس او خاصني كيك والله خاصني نتلقى في كيك صافي وحنا رافسين الله 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 الله
everything picking up damage and helping to get kills here in favor of NRG.
I know Giannis is low. This is another scenario where unfortunately they won't be able to save their weapons.
Wow, they got obliterated and they didn't even get to push their own strat.
صار ضحكوا عليهم فيه ديري صاحبي سبو حقني دقني بقني فقني واش اسير سبو جا عندنا جا شوفوا سبو واش كاين في تويتش هو كاين حتى في تويتش سير شوفوا واش كاين في يوتيوب سير كاع شوف واش كاين في يوتيوب نشوفوا واش الدراري غيدخلوا لهم كاملين ولا لا بقى يوتيوب يوتيوب الدراري يوتيوب 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 الدراري هو اللي بقى يلا سبو نشوفوا كاع سير سبو صافي كتراسي تخيلوا معايا الصاد 5 سنين وانا ضايع في هاد اللعيب 5 سنين وانا عندي اكسن نتلاقى يوتيوب تلاقي في يوتيوب وفي تويتش وانا حاضي غير تويتش 5 سنين اصاحبي والك علاه تكلفتو والك علاه تكلفتو مزيانه دابا المشكله غادي تخليك تخدم كاع لي السوشيال ميديا ديالك ما غاديش تحبس والله لا مزيانه هاد اللعيبه الصاد زين
Brock there as well. Talked a few more up for the rookies here on the side of NRG as Brock continues to fight through the wall, but the tracers give him away. And the spike gets planted. Looked like under Cove there for protection.
I was gonna say they have double ult here, which is actually quite good, but they still only have pistols in the pulse plant.
ولكن زين
Another by Sam. Quickly moving it in. Oh, that's going to go through, so they're going to get half on this one and look for something else. King walking around, the right click, he needs it to hit. Oh!
واقف اللي بجوج واقف اللي بجوج الساعة.
Instances you think you're going to see your opponents, and then when you do, they're both just staring you straight in the face.
والله لو واقفين اللي بجوج.
Round now 6-1. Holding LEV short of grabbing these rounds in an incredible manner.
That would have been an amazing clutch once again of King with the pistol against rifles, because the last two players are inside the cove. They're decaying slowly but surely inside that pit. They're one.
صراحة كان يجيبها دورة خفيفة ما طباوهاش second time.
You don't know what's going on.
You have to react quickly as soon as a person walks into the cove, and I mean, like I said, Mata, he's not missing right now.
I think we saw from LEV yesterday as well. A lot of the rounds that they were able to swing the game around in were big rounds from King. Calm coming up huge. Sato with a few. Tex with a few. And Mata doesn't stop as he gets one more.
ساعات بنادم مهربان تتجيب بنادم هربان اللي بغى يدخل افريقيا دابا يلقى افيدير برومو تما وانت دخلتي لتيك توك ويوتيوب ديالي اخي الساك ها ها قول لي دخلتي لتيك توك ويوتيوب ما طالقش لايف ديالي ودخل تشوف هاد الهبله اللي غنبداو نديرو عما قريب دابا ازي ادخل تشوف صافي دابا كاين ستريمات فين ما مشيت ستريم.
Oh yeah, all being in sight makes very tough for LEV. You have to have your head on a swivel. You're always checking a secondary angle. You need to be somebody else having that angle.
عارف كاين لا جيت يا فريد داكشي شكون اللي تالي.
Grab a few of their own, but his shoulder peaks, so his head gets torn off by Mata. No bite here.
يلا كينغ بيلي.
Be a full peak, still around the corner. It's actually under box, not even on.
Mata ما كيضحكش.
Grabs a 3K on that round. 7 to
هو جا كاسكروت معالجة. كوكو يوتيوب دراري حلوهم كاملين الدراري. راك منور تحياتي واش فيروس جيتو وصا عليك ل 11 الليل بديتو كتبانو بديتو كتبانو وصا عليك حصلتو كتصل ل 11 الليل كتوليو تبانو انا نوريك دريس واش عشيري كبيسو كبيسو الدراري كبيسو ولا تعبيسو ويلي الدراري عندي مقودين الدراري كي كبيسو سبو هو الاول نيميرو 1 برد ديالي خمسة عبيسو سيمو 4 عبيسو زاك 2 عبيسو المليح الدراري دخلوا اليوتيوب الدراري جو الله ناري هو تيك توك ناري مشاكل تا هو واو كلشي جا صافي ما كاينه تيك توك اخي مشاكل مقطع لنا كونكس هو مشاكل كيجيب مشاكلو ديما يلا
from Mata on that lower side, but Calm can pull one back in their favor here. A 7-5 doesn't look too bad.
غير بديت كنلاكاس ولي فيها تربحوا راهم.
The start of the story for LEV.
That's one of the things you kind of start need to get rolling.
كبيسو ولا تعبيسو الدراري يلا.
Remember their game against Crew 2? It wasn't always
كبيسو ولا تعبيسو. جوني با اون بيرسون لا هذاك هو انا وليت جوني با اون بيرسون ماشي كيشوف شويه لهيه ها 3 في 1 باي ذا واي الساك هاد اللعيبه اش بان لك الساك مزيانه بانت لي تحرك الفيوز 48 فيور في تويتش
Definitely Sato is going to get loud. Okeano's going to start standing up.
Yeah.
And you don't want that to start happening from the side of NRG.
مزيانه والله لا مزيانه الساط هاد اللعيبات.
Silence is also chaos.
عبيسو ولا تعبيسو خويا الله الورود الزهور ما يمكنش مشاكل والزهور والورود كحنا الدراري كبيسو ولا تعبيسو الدراري يا سلام تنتا علي صاحبي السبو كبيسو ولا تعبيسو جيم لو ماروك موسي جيم لو ماروك ديما مغرب تعللتي عليه كملت لك 1000 لايك صاحبي مقاود صاحبي مقاول واعرين الدراري نشوفهم والله راه جديده دابا اللي غندخل ليها الصاد التيك توك هادي عالم اخر تشوف مشاكل شابع كوينات كبس صاحبي مشاكل راك عاجبني غنوصلوا للعالميه ان شاء الله واو العالميه الصاد الله حتى العالميه لا كون فان داغدانونس مزيان هاد 1500 لايك العالميه قول لي 5 فيور 1500 لايك 5 فيور انتوما صحابي واعرين والله لا واعرين غنوصلوا الموندياليتي غنفوتوا الياس المالكي الدراري شوف الدراري الياس المالكي جاب الكينغز ليغ غادي نجيبوا الكوب دي موند قودوا يعرضوا علينا الفيفا نمشيو للكوب دي موند عقلوا على هاد الدراري هاد اللايبين لا كضحك ما كنضحكش واخا بالك مبتسم ما كنضحكش
and retakes do they have to use before they get to the site, so they have no utility when they get here.
2030 بزويا امباسادور ديال المونديال عودتو اصبر لا موندياليتي مون فخير ولا قالها يقد بيها زين زيد اخي التكس
from that high elevation to make it a 2v1 situation now as Tex. He's going to start backing up.
شوفوا شنو يقدر يطرا هنا دابا حاليا نشوفوا البيكو شوت لا يلا يا ايتن 1 اتش بي صم معاه يلا يا تكس ولكن صم بالهيد شوت بادي شوت يا سلام يخليها 9-2 لصالح انرجي مباراة سريعة اضرب ورب ارقص صافي دابا كي كدير تقرا طرواشاط اللي كتب الاولاني كنجاوبو ربحوا غير 4 راوند في 26 اش كتسب لي التيم ديالي اخي اش كتسب لي التيم ديالي اخي الزاك انا كنشجعهم انا هما دابا غيخسروا شو كي غيخسروا الصاد بسببك كيف ساطو بوستد ساطو راه انا اللي بوستيشوس هيا ويلي سبابا ولكن راه نيميرو 1 شيري هو السيمو النيتورك خي مشاكل داولك بلاصتك عشير خي مشاكل داولك بلاصتك دابا هاد 2000 لايك باش كتنفع الدراري شرحوا لي باش كتنفع الدراري الله يحفظكم ملي كنوليو عالميه السيمو راه النيتورك خونا صاحبنا صابو ستريم ياك في تيك توك العالميه صافي الدراري كبسوا ولا تعبس راه كنتفرجوا مع دارنا ريكومندد لايف صافي مزيانه الدراري غنوصلوا هنايا الجول الدراري هو نضربوا شي نضربوا الدراري ان شاء الله 200 فيور في تيك توك جول 100 لا ديك 100 لايك نضربوا 200 فيور في تيك توك الدراري و100 فيور في تويتش يلا الدراري هذا هو البيت الا وصلنا لها نديرو كيفواي ديال 50 دولاركس يلا مزيانه ليكم الدراري 200 تيك توك 100 تويتش 50 دولار صاد ازرب والله لا ازرب يوتيوب ما غندويش عليه يوتيوب غنديرو لها كيفواي بوحد صافي اخي ليفياتان باي 6 هذا 6 محارم معلم لا 6 محارم لا
Calm was getting pressured here by Mata. He's the one falling into the pit because they play triple stingers inside of that King ult.
Yeah.
And then you utilize Oki to watch that flank.
Waki دار ليهم.
But then you have these guys just
واكي دار ليهم.
in full control.
اخبارك نقدر نبارطاجي دابا اللايف ديالي في تيك توك في تيليجرام. يا سلام. وعلى هاد اللعيبه هادي زوين هذا كونتوني. لا الكونتوني يا المعلم. كبسوا ولا تعبسوا واحد صام صراحه بقى دير هاد اللعيبه مزيانه ما كنتوش كتقولوها لي صاد نتوما ما فيور ما والو ما كنسبورطيوش الستريمر ديالكم ما بغيتونيش نوصل لا نتوما ضد نتوما نتوما نصيفطكم ليا شي ولد قحبه ضد نتوما حاش السامعين فاميلي فريندلي نسيت نتوما يوتيوب وتيك توك ما عندكمش ما تخسر الهضره الدراري ديال تويتش مولفيني كابري معايا ها هو جا لهنا با ناري على سميه وعلى سميه حتى هو واخد با مالك الصاد صاد واش انا اللي كنلاكي ولا هما اللي ملاكين انا بالي هما اللي ملاكين غندير داك البوست اللي قلتي غندير
We are back for NRG versus Leviathan here. Icebox second half. But LEV faced the same results here, down by 8. And they have to string together a
ماشي مع غنكتبها غيديروا الريمونتادا الدراري انا نبوستيها دراري انا غنبوستيها are we really watching a 4 round only from LEV no way in the whole series صبر نديروا لها
for Leviathan in the first half. I mean, Sato a little bit quiet, but I feel it's also because of the double controller blocking the lines. He's also not having enough util to help him out for the attack. So hopefully now
انتم تفرج انا بوستيتها ياك ها هو اللينك ياك عقلوا دابا الريمونتادا تفرج الريمونتادا اشتغلت يا جدعان الريمونتادا اشتغلت يا جدعان
fake dash kind of. They want to get the commitment out of the backside, and they're just going to have shots everywhere. Wait a minute, a flawless is going to happen here. With the rush forward, Sato's going to have
سيطع مرافس ضروري ندبروا على راسنا خرج هاي دابا تبوستات هاي تبوستات تفرجوا دابا
NRG bringing it 11-2 just like that.
صافي تبوستات دابا حيت تبوستات قبل بلا الراوند.
Once again going down for the side of Leviathan. Potentially the final pitch around of their stage.
واه سو صوم الصاد كيف لكت عليهم صاد صوم كيضحك عليهم الصاد
What a nice little lurk and push up here from Som.
صوم كيضحك عليهم الصاد
How good he's playing today.
Been playing for a few days here. Had a turnaround hit yesterday or a few rounds ago.
Exactly, he played the best game so far that stage yesterday, and now Sato finally finds an opening. Closing in with the barrel of the Bucky, but gets denied by Snakebite.
Closed out there. And NRG currently keeping every member
تقلنا الله تقلنا الله غيجيبوا راوند جابوا كيل صاد ضحكوا عليه والله لا ضحكوا عليه برا والله حتى ضحكوا عليه برا انت 3 لايكس ثلاثة كا دابا مزيان هاد اللايفات هادو خص دوك الدراري اللي كاينين في تويتش هما يمشيو يسباميو تماك لي لايك ياك
entry or a forward position from Sato with that Bucky to cut that line. And they read incorrectly, so NRG has now the first step into the A site and a surprise attack too.
خلي بلادم على رجاء المكنسية ويلي على سميات كيدخلوها الصاد مرحبا بك اختي رجاء يا سلام صاد تيك توك عالم خور جا الدراري جا الدراري
exactly how each round is going to turn out, it looks like. NRG do it again. They bring it to match point here, and they have to be feeling good with how this is going to push them forward with the momentum that they're able to show here, and just do it to Ascent and Icebox as well. Their map pool is quite big. Otherwise, they still have the Corrode that they play quite strong on, so things are looking good here.
Even pushing towards us.
كيضحك
He full gave up. Wait, why did he give up?
I love how Bonkar has been smiling since the first map.
Of course. Man's just going to be rolling over
هسه
timeouts into the next game at this point.
It's a GG الدراري. It's a GG. They're just throwing every round after round. Leviathan are not here.
Already losing text in the very beginning.
They are not here, bro. They are outside the game.
All of them congregated towards that B main, and it's
It's a GG.
the turret that helps Ethan to get.
It's a GG الدراري. غنمشيو نتفرجوا في C9 و 100 Chiefs وصافي. هذا هو الفيلم.
They still had the upper hand, and they're just allowing LEV to get themselves into position. They say, you know what? Wait for everything. We're going to hit it max. And they get to the site with 1 minute left here. Khan will be the first one to approach the situation.
Double kill!
The up-down flick, kind of nasty. Actually, 2 flick towards the pocket there.
That was a triple swing.
Yeah, great choice by him in a very indecisive moment of how many people to shoot. Khan comes up big and leaves the 2v3 here.
صعب علاش هاربور الصاد في الماب غيبقى كرينج.
10 for Ethan. He's trying
الكرينج
outside to listen for those
الكرينج حبه.
so that he can lock one of them down. A second one down.
لا
NRG will take the win in 2 and eliminate Leviathan.
26
Energy
4
continuing to look in prime form.
26 4
It was kind of like a G2 at home
واو
where their first
بحال لعب شي بريك في البيار باغيين يربحوا الاخرين خاري.
You're always going to try to compare Omega versus Alpha, the type of opponents that you have, but they're definitely displaying now in the playoffs for stage 2 that they could still take.
ما عطاتهمش هاد الجيم هادي ما عطاتهمش.
And it's different people showing up. You said Sam, we saw Sam going off the other day. Ethan was
ولكن سام الصاد he was so perfect شابرو في هاد الجيم ما يمكنش.
Brock showing up today, 303 ACS on the Sova for Icebox. Didn't even have any first bloods, was just getting into the mix during the round, delivering the initiator utility and being behind his teammates.
سام عزيز عليهم سام اصلا درويش الصاد مشى عليهم اصلا عيانين. صاد ام اي بي ار اللي ما كانتش كاع الصاد ام اي بي ار اللي ما كانتش كاع الصاد تخيل. ولات مكاليفيا الشامس الصاد ما يمكن. مزيان هاد اللعيبه الدراري مزيان. كورتيزيا اللي جينكسي لي ليف.
Maybe that also helped how Som is playing around his smokes as his Omen. And the preparation that they have to always surprise their opponents for Leviathan in different positions in these early rounds.
Absolutely.
Just unfortunate for the side of Levy, but you know what? You got to walk out of that with your head high still. You have to do some crazy changes going to stage 2. New coach, 2 new rookies, a change of scenery as well for King to lead. And remember, stage 1, they had issues trying to figure out who's going to IGL for the team.
Yeah.
It went to like 3 different roles in stage 1.
Absolutely.
And now they finally look like they could have something good going potentially to next year if it sticks to that roster.
Yeah, and with looking how they had to play it, you almost went through Sato a lot of the time because of how well he was playing and how much he had to offer, which almost made it kind of a one-way street in some ways, right? And then required the plays that we saw for them to get through crew, which I think what NRG took advantage of, take the win and move on. But we have to hear from the players themselves. So right now we're going to send it over to Elizabeth down on stage for the Verizon post-match interview with Sam.
W Streamer!
Guys, give it up for Sam. What an incredible
Sam, shit.
performance that was. And I mean, you just said to me, I don't think I've ever been interviewed this year. Well, welcome back to your Verizon
last game
interview. And
wow.
what do you do it, Sam? Because we heard in the pre-match package, you know, there's a lot of pressure in the lower bracket.
تورق الدراري طلع لي البروف ديالي.
Where was that pressure
طلع لي في فيسبوك. وهاد الكونت هذا زعما ديال البزول. اصلا الكونت ديال البزول ولا شي ودي لي لايف ديالي اصلا. شدي شي.
I mean, that's something Bonker said in my coach interview. He was like, very simply, he was like, we're calm, we're cool, collected.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you?
Honestly, it makes my job very easy. As you know, we have like 3 rookies. Maybe Adam's not considered a rookie anymore, but Brock and Scuba, they're so calm and cool, collected. Like, my experience doesn't matter. They don't need my experience.
Well, that's the thing, because like I feel like so many people know you as like the W streamer, which you are. You're our W streamer, but also you turned into a mentor of sorts, right? We've seen you like so young in the scene, but now you're the mentor. How have you taken on that role? Besides, like when someone as Brock and Scuba are so calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting old, man. I'm an unk now.
How old are you?
23.
Okay.
That's old. Okeanos, Sato, they're all like 18, 19.
I'm 26.
Yeah, you and me.
Okay.
But no, it's honestly, it's like after FNS left, it's been kind of like a gap that we've kind of been missing out on. And I think me and Ethan have been doing really well, and I think Bonkar especially. Yeah. Yeah.
Something else I want to ask you is I think NRG have been proving a lot of people wrong in these stage and this playoffs. Do you think NRG is still underrated by the greater community?
20 كبير. ايوا ولا شافني انا عديت 30 عام ما يفهمش.
You're good.
ما يفهمش.
I mean, hopefully we change.
30 عام وكبا كنعيش بحال شي دري صغير اصلا.
I think until we make the goal of making champs.
ديروا بالكم هاد اللعيبه الصاد باقي عايش حياتي بحال دري صغير انا.
Then it'll be a banger.
Yes. And I have one last question from you. Someone named Pujon.
ولكن غير معاكم هنا. كنخرج من كنعيشها مع دابا هادشي اللي بنادم ما سبونس غيبدا يفهم معايا مور اوفتن. مع العشراني كيعجبني نكون داك البرهوش. بوحدي كنكون بعقلي كتار. في الخدمه او ماي جاد لاي ليفل ديال الخدمه التسطيع فهمتي خدمه التسطيع الدراري والله في خدمه التسطيع انا عزيز عليا الجود فايبس فوالا انا ما نكذبش لك انا بحال هكا كنشوفها برا سيمو ستريمات خريجة ضروري انا ضروري داك السايت فيك داز حيت خفت هاد الجيب طوال انت كتجيب الطوال هادي ديال السي 9 نديرو شي وقيته ونسالي ستريم ونتحرك ونجلسو في ديسكورد زاك تحق بالدورية تنشاي الدراري كاملين ديال بي اش ال اصلا دابا قول لي انت الوقت اللي يقدروا نريحوا فيه انا راه ما عنديش مشكل اش بونس الدراري ديجا جالسين في ديسكورد الدراري ديجا جالسين في ديسكورد اي انت وزارك يقدر يكون 3 ماب يقدر يكون 2 ماب يقدر يكون 2 ماب دابا وانا درتي سوسينا ما تعرفهم دابا كيفاش يلعبوا هاد الجيم بالسوايع 3 حسب ديما 3 السوايع دايره ماكسيموم 20 انا ستريميش بزاف اليوم انا ماكسيموم واحد شحال هاد ساعة كاع نزيد واحد ساعة هنايا في تويتش وانا بخير فهمتي ساعة ونص فهمتيني ولي شي نعاس سير تحول ولي شي نعاس نتا بغيتي عاطيها البايسار وداك الشي في الشمال هاني نسالي البوست هادشي انا باغي نريح وبقاو جالسين وكدواو هادشي دابا خصني نناقش كلشي معاك عشيري فهمتي وغدا خصني فكرني غدا خصني ستريميت غنستريميها في تويتش غنستريمي الصباح والليل في تويتش كل ازاي اخبارك يا اخي سيمو الخميس راه نقدروا نطلعوا الفاس بيساعد شفناها سالي جيت عند بقيت كناعس الماسك خويا ويلكم تو ذا ستريم عموتش جينا وبقيت كنسول قالوا لي نعسي صافي انا
I think obviously they're a really good team, regardless of like the narrative around them of them being like chokers in playoffs.
Most difficult player on NRG is
اليوم بقاو فايقين السيبو اليوم بقاو فايق
take over the game, so that's the scary part.
Pushing forward.
قصبت ورك على ال
Looking for any info he can find. Cryo swings out. Cryo with 3.
The stakes are just Paris or go home. Everything's on the line realistically.
دابا بقيتي كتلايكي دابا تخيل معايا انا كنلايكي في راسي دابا تخيل ابدا سير شوف
Welcome back to day 4 of the stage 2
final
match of the week. We got a good one for you folks. It's 100 Thieves versus Cloud9, and this matchup only comes around once a year, baby. So enjoy it while you can. I'm Golden Boy here with me.
يلا تدخلش
Mimi, just trying to harass Sideshow there.
كتشي يا براوش
A gift to Bren. He wants to mess with that.
كتحداكم ويلك تفدوها كان شي لعيبه.
Like a bad idea. Nothing about this is going to work out in our benefit. Yeah, we're watching, we're looking. Here he is. The madman's here, everyone. It's partially because you changed your pred last minute.
جولة ليلية. سركال زعما حاضي لا زون.
It was wrong. It's always
حاضي لا زون أموتة.
anything I say. I changed my pred, and I was like, I believe in LEV. I look at this map, it look great. That was like the fastest map in the history of VCT Americas.
Yep. Can confirm that was the fastest map in the history.
My self-confidence?
Faster than the 13-0.
Faster than the 13-0. What the hell happened?
They gave up.
Are we getting another one?
Okay, well, let's go ahead and talk about this here because look, both of these fan bases, they have been ride or die with these teams for a long time, but they have been crushed time and time again. Poor things, all right? And here's the good news, though, right, is that today, well, actually, one fan base is still going to be crushed, so, you know.
Yep.
But the other one's going to feel good. Yay, happy.
Temporarily. Because that's the trouble with these fan bases. They've got they're just Duma is built into them.
Yeah, but also, you think about what these two teams have been up to over the last few years. 100 Thieves, known for getting, you know, the minimum amount of matches played across a year.
Yep.
And Cloud9 known for choking.
واو على سمرقين هذه نقطة خايبة هذه اللي قال
that kind of streak, this would be a really deep run for either of the squads at this point, even if they don't quite make it to Paris, though that is still on the line. And the other, like, no matter what, the other fan base is just going to feel like, oh, again.
Yes.
Yeah. So, inevitable, incredible outcomes.
And for both of them, it's been so long since the peak. The last time Cloud9 even made it to Champions was 2021 when we were still on the team. It was a completely different team back then. And for 100 Thieves, I mean, they won stage 1 in 24 and went on the run to Shanghai, but since then it's just been grim. It's been back to the 100 Thieves fan storm cloud. It's been there for a long time.
Which is ironic because Cloud9 are the
NRG.
So, you know, actually quite nice. What
NRG لاعبين على لاست تشانس برو.
What can I say? That's my whole gimmick. Anyway.
I liked it.
No, I liked it too.
Elizabeth, please save us.
We don't need salvation.
Elizabeth.
We want to hear from Net.
I got a firewall.
Here with Net from Cloud9.
واو حيت انرجي كون دازو انرجي كون دازو الدراري بدوك لي بوان كرو ما غيدوزوش ايفل جينيسيس سقساو
I would say we had that
confidence. Wow, 100 Chiefs. 100 Chiefs عندهم فرصة.
The wins against LEV and the close results against Sen are just a result of our hard work, and we expected to win that match, and it was a really close game because they're a great team.
ولكن راه اللي مبلبلة هو تيم هيريتيكس، تيم فيتاليتي، تيم ليكويد، BBL الصاد، بثلاثة بهم، بربعة بهم.
Now look, guys.
كي تكرمل كورب، صبر تكرمل كورب بدلي.
Wants to win today. Listen to the words that are coming out of him. Actually, you know what? Give me the solo. Ven aquí. Come closer, please. Right here, as much as you can. Okay? Band bind. That's all. Apparently, that's it. That's the freaking solution. If Evil Geniuses did that, who knows what could have happened yesterday?
They would have lost on Sunset and still lost.
No. Damn it, Mimi. Stop bringing reality into this.
But 100 Thieves, it is true. They're yet to win a series where they don't win on bind, and that's because they're so excellent on this map. They completely dismantled EG. I think EG came in with a solid ante. They wanted to punish the long control on their attacking side, give them options to punish. No. 100 Thieves dismantled them regardless.
I just want to say real fast.
شو اسونا كي ترعد اسونا كي ترعد
I saw Bind and I knew map 1 immediately. We were starting the series 1-0.
Because it plays all their strengths. I mean, 100 Thieves, they love to brawl and team fight, and they love to play on their own tempo. Bind some of the shortest avenues as soon as the barriers drop out of any map in the game, and you can build up those odds, you can generate these execs, you have all these preset plans and ideas. It just lets 100 Thieves play the game that they want to play.
I think though, if they
لا لا بقى كل لو كيل هيريتكس علاش بقى نيريكسترو
ideas of how they want to play on this map. Neither of them particularly play.
هيريتكس عندهم 14 نقطة الدراري ولكن بقى ما ضامنينش انهم دازوا اخباركم هاد اللعيبة هادي بقى ما ضامنينش اللعب.
But then also you've got double flash being played to attack the attackers.
Yeah, double flash. There you go.
To re-clear through mid.
قال لي راه ديال الحلاو.
I don't really know.
الحلاوة فين كاينة؟
It's actually one of the maps where 100 Thieves are 2-0. They're undefeated here, but they haven't played against some astoundingly stiff competition. Whereas I think that Cloud9 actually showed that this theory works even against some of the best, because Sentinels were struggling with this.
What's so weird is that 100 Thieves play a comp where you don't actually have like a lot of control. You don't have that Viper wall to lurk into mid, threaten there as an extra stall tool. What they do have is constant refreshable util to go for re-clear after re-clear. On the other hand, the resources for Cloud9 are really finite, playing the sky.
بقى جاينت اكس نافي.
That's it for your entire round.
Giant X Navi.
Where you're setting up plays, but they have a bit more room.
BBL تيم ليكويد. واو BBL تيم ليكويد دابا تيم ليكويد إلا ربحوا يدوزوا.
One of the things though is by playing this double.
تيم ليكويد اللي ربحوا يدوزوا الدراري.
Right, you're flashing in mid and you're having a brawl, and who loves a brawl? I mean, 100 Thieves, they love a scrap. They want a team fight all the time. Like,
واو علاش دابا راه بان ليا BBL تيم ليكويد ضمنوا الربح ضمنوا يدوز.
Let's not forget too, right? If we end up going to Corrode, right? You're really going to see
الوحيد اللي دابا تقدر تخور هي جاينت اكس ولا النافي. تخيل النافي دوز هادشي بحال ما شفت النافي الصاد شي انترناشونال ايفنت برو. واو.
Yesterday, I was really impressed with what we were seeing from him regardless. He was still putting up a fight whenever they needed it.
I don't believe there's a player that gets more consistent value out of every piece of utility when he's playing on Fade. Look at some of these rounds. The C's Brimstone combo down short completely cooks EG. He's showing similar looks into long as well using that tool. And he's so on point with when he's choosing to use his prowlers or launch on
That was crazy.
And on top of that, he goes to map 3, Bren, and just decimates individually.
Yeah, I think individual basis as well. If EU keeps shooting like he is now, I think he's going to be able to go to toe-to-toe with a lot of these Cloud9 players in terms of firepower as well, because that's what a lot of this game is going to come down to if we think about it. We're imagining this to be both teams kind of opting into the brawls. 100 Thieves want to fight, Cloud9 never shy away from it. You see it often from them. It might come down to the form factor. If EU can keep it going, a big advantage for 100 Thieves.
One of the things I think the fans don't quite realize too is that EU contributes a huge amount to the
الزوز وتاشيري ويلكم تو ذا ستريم عم موتس. الدراري اللي كيدخلوا لتيك توك كنشوفكم الدراري 1 باي 1 رجال. انا كنشوفكم اخوتي الله يرحم لكم الوالدين الدراري ديال اليوتيوب. انا عارفكم نتوما ما كتشوفونيش ولكن انا راه كنشوفكم.
Asuna just has so many ups and downs on his individual level, because when you play a scrappy team style like this, and you're playing a duelist where you're selfless and you are sending it, if you're playing against weaker competition, like EG, okay, you are going to roll them over. And then if you're playing against more difficult competition...
واو بلاد واو سلو ميوزك ويلكم تو ذا ستريم عموتشا. كنشوفك انا عشيري كنشوف. مرحبا بالدراري كاملين مرحبا بكم كاملين. ترى انا هذاك ورا كلشي هو كلشي. سميتك سلو ميوزك هنا سميتك سلو ميوزك. تكون في تويتش وسميك عزوز.
Insanely vocal. I think sometimes the community, when they've heard the 100 Thieves videos, have called that to a fault. But when I was listening yesterday, it didn't feel that chaotic. It felt like a very good balance of him and EU plus Xander in some of the pre-rounds, keeping this team on the right track and considering all these options and how to play off each other.
I think you're going to see a very
طلع تيك توك عالم خار الدراري.
because if you're expecting Cloud9 to come in,
انا راه يلا كنكتشف دابا شي تيك توك ولا شي عالم خار.
like Jordan was holding his stump for the refight in CT. He knows when the fights are coming. They know how 100 Thieves like to play. Cloud9 are going to opt into it in a different way. They're actually just going to meet them head on, I think, and try and just ego check them in a lot of ways. So we're going to see almost a different series. It might be very bloody and brawly overall, but genuinely, it could just come down to that form factor as well.
Yeah, well, we did get an opportunity to catch up with Asuna, courtesy of Elizabeth. Excuse me. Let's check it out.
ماشي عزوز. وشيش دابا.
The name on EU's lips about Bind because when
وشيش دابا.
the last time colleague Valina asked him about it, why are you so good on Bind? Both times he said you. What is your reaction to that?
I think it's more of a team thing. Obviously, I had a good map, so it's easier to pick me. But overall, I think we're really good on that map, like individually, team-wide. So we have really good setups, and Tony does a good job on.
قالوا مالي أنا وما عندي زهر.
Overall,
هايلي مالي أنا وما عندي زهر.
Well, let's shift the conversation over to their opponents. We got Cloud9. Now, of course, we did see Oxy struggle against Zekin and Sentinels, which was a thing that we did highlight last week. But it is important to note that this wasn't an entire team really did step up.
أنا هنا وانت لهي هنا خير من لهي. باباسينيو واش هالشيري. Welcome to the stream.
It was more, I think, credit to the rest of the players on C9 that they made the game close despite not having to rely on Oxy go kill. And I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. And I like the pace that they've got on the attack side, where they do slow things down. I was thinking about what you were saying, Brad, but sometimes I like the fact that they temper that
They've been trying to play more controlled recently, I think, as well. Amy's spoken about it plenty of times. Throughout all of Stage 2, they were made to look fools, to be honest, on certain maps because they were trying to evolve into this team that had nuance.
I think showing a map like their
أوكسي عليه.
example of that, where they do
لا أوكسي عليه.
fast rounds, but with the limited initiator tools they have, they're instead sometimes taking more time to contact around pop late into these rounds and be a little bit more intentional about the fights that they're choosing to take.
Yeah, and we saw there Oxy, right, the struggle that he was having in that Sentinels matchup. But again, you know, we're seeing this Cloud9 team, a team that we thought was going to be cursed, actually really is stepping up to the moment here. And of course, this week we also saw Cloud9 win their opening match against Leviathan. So I do want to pose a question to the panel here. Do we feel like, you know, C9 are shaking off this curse?
Let's start with Mr. Positive.
شحال كيخلص تيك توك. أول مرة غنستريم أنا في تيك توك أصلا والله ما عرفت شحال كيخلص. سول إلياس المالكي هو اللي كيعرف لا.
Most of us are going for C9 in this match.
أنا ولا ما عارف نسولني نبان بحال شي حمار.
In the curse in playoffs, it feels like a different team.
But if they lose this match today, especially if it's in dominant fashion, I think the curse is back in business.
You mean like the way the LEV just
Yes, I think
هادي دابا مزيانة تيك توك.
or at least
CEO live.
step further in this lower bracket for people to start to get away from that mentality of just thinking of these guys as chokers.
I don't know if I'd agree.
عيش ار بي وظهرهم بلاكون. كاش ار بي بي يا خويا ولا شنو؟
How this team has actually developed.
اللي سي او لايف. ار بي بي يا دابا.
If they did what LEV just did.
Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, the narrative confirmed.
But I agree with you, it's probably not going to happen.
I don't foresee that happening. I think we're seeing a Cloud9 team that is clearly recognizing their strengths and the value of those strengths, and they're playing into them. And a 100 Thieves team that does need to step up in the moment. And one fan base is going to be sad today. Let's find out who it is and send it over to the stage and bring out both squads.
Riot Games Arena, it is do or die for
كبسوا على الشاشة. كبسوا ولا تعبسوا.
So now you got this 100 Thieves team. They love the double duelist. It plays perfectly into their strengths here. They're going to need to really dig into the playbook, Mimi, in order for them to be able to get this win. Because you know Cloud9, you know Coach Imi and the boys have plans.
They haven't made it to a global event since
بان الدريه ديالي عاد كبس عليه.
And it's been disappointing.
ما بغا خداماش اليوم الدريه ديالي. شاده روبو خارجه مع الزلار.
Doubled down on their own identity in stage 2 and found a system that worked, but there's a lot of room still to go if they want another global.
I'm worried when
كذاب ديما كذاب اخي الزلار. نتوما اللي كتقولوا الصراحه.
will just be too predictable, and I think Mitch
ما خرجاش معايا ناري.
So I want to see Zix
نسيت
mix things up a little
ناري.
bit.
نسيت حصلنا تو شو
And
حصلني
their opponents fighting for a spot at Champions Paris.
خارجه معايا واش كدير تهدي الشات ما فهمتش.
And this Cloud9 team, look, I'm just going to say, even though I did predict 100 Thieves, I have my reasons, I do genuinely feel like this is not a team, Bren, that has, it's not the same. I do feel
صات الصناديلات ناضي ندير هاد الصندالات اللي كنمشيو بهم حنايا للحمام هما كيلبسوهم يتبوكساو بهم. حطها دابا هادي حطها جال سي 9 باي ذا واي.
Yeah, they're trying to really evolve into a not just a
Sabouers.
team that's able to beat down on opponents that they're mechanically better than, but also they can go toe-to-toe, I think, with some of the top teams in their groups or even just in Americas overall, which we've shown.
For sure.
And they have shown that, I think, already. So this is a squad that
كلعب بهم كرة الدرب.
and not just that, they're thinking about different factors.
كبيسي ولا تعبي الصون.
Speaking of Imi about it,
They banned Bind!
Yeah, they banned Bind!
What do you know?
And listen,
What a moment.
Imi was talking, saying that, listen, he knows that they haven't shown many of their maps so far over the course of this stage. They brought out the pocket pick of Icebox with that unique composition before. That's going to be second into the pool. They know the strengths of it. They know that they have stuff hidden up their sleeves already. This is a team that is, I think, pretty determined. They're going to use every trick up their sleeve to try and win out and make it all the way to Champs Paris.
More than almost any other team in the playoffs, C9 has been willing to take risks, to go for those one-off compositions, to play off meta, and we get the highlights of that with both
Hello, Spo.
and Icebox.
Spo, are you here, brother?
The series starts.
اجي ورمتوني اجي ورمتوني كي جاك اش. جا سبو ورمتوني ديالك كي جاك.
Looked solid on in this stage.
I'm telling you.
لاكس ديالي داير بقات ابروشيها شوف علاش دارت امي بروش.
If 100 Thieves just start inting down mid and trying to force fights against them, then I'm starting to get worried because this has got to be a map where 100 Thieves start out on the right foot. If, though, they can lure Cloud9 into the big team fight brawls and Cloud9 get caught up in the pace, caught up in the tempo and start losing those battles, if the excitement gets to them, if they start crumbling, then worries on the Cloud9 side.
There's one little twist, though, that is going to be playing, I think, towards Cloud9's favor. And genuinely, I've been a bit of a hater of the Sky that they've been pulling out. I'm assuming they're going to be playing it again. We'll see when we get onto the other side of things. But the Sky is fantastic at refighting. On your own metrics, like your own situation where you want to be fighting in, you take away control from the opposition.
There it is.
Sky. You fight on your own terms.
I think that the 100 Thieves comp, though, is in a lot of ways better at going for those refights. They have more tools, more options. I mean, you're pulling out a Yoru who basically has, well, not having the info
But will it be
tools,
predictable?
those same two flashes.
But will it be predictable?
That those refight plays, I think that's what you have to be looking out for if you're C9 on attack. But 100 Thieves is a team that is good at finding the right timings to pop those plays, and that's where it really matters.
All right, folks. Well, we heard the analysts. Let's jump into the match, shall we? Send it over to your casters, and one of them is actually Cloud9's biggest believer. Here is Doug and Ender.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Honestly, it's easy to believe. They've made fans out of a couple of people who may have thought at this point they would have already faltered. But the truth is, they stand before another monumentous task. Christy with another one potentially lying in wait next week.
Yeah, you win here today, then you have to face down NRG for that spot in Paris. And honestly, Golden Boy, I think that Cloud9 doubters need to get a new hobby. This stage, they've only dropped to G2 and Sentinels. Now seeing them up against other competition in 100 Thieves who have started their run yesterday by taking down EG in 2-0 fashion, have started that pathway to Paris.
Cloud9 will start on the attacking side, and as Josh was mentioning on the desk, we return to the scene of a pretty brutal performance from 100 on Haven. It was discombobulated, it looked disjointed, it looked disorganized, but there's a chance at redemption here against a team that probably favored in this series, I would say.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at predictions coming into the game, a lot of people have been leaning towards Cloud9, but I don't know if it's so clear-cut. We'll see how this map pool continues to develop, with C9 starting here on the attack side. It is worth mentioning that just looking at these two comps, Cloud9 playing a comp straight out of 3 years ago. 100 Thieves a bit more cutting edge, playing agents that didn't exist in the Neon, playing Yoru had footsteps back then, but C9 still been successful on that and already trading in mid.
Yeah, some of those mid fights that were problematic in the past. This time Austin was there to be able to
يا تدخل الدار شي ساعة كنتي باقي مسافر انت نورمال المهم.
Cloud9 have full C control. They're going to be in a really nice spot here.
Oftentimes when Oxy gets taken down low, he'll go on a bit of a walk up, but Mitch healed him all the way up to full. It's a big advantage to have here in the post plant, already up numbers.
Paranoia, gonna push him back just a little bit more. Austin managed to dodge. Now we'll tip his toes back into the site.
Mitch even has double flashes still as well, so the stall from Cloud9 is immense.
There's the first. Stun out. You imagine dash comes forward. The double swing is not enough. Oxy and Mitch hold the line. EU's the last to stand, and it will not be for long. Cloud9 take the pistol.
Impressive that Oxy was able to take this C site without much support from the sky. Just dashed up into a cloud burst on top site. Deleted the side anchor for 100 Thieves. And Cloud9, if they're able to play with some pace here too, try to break open these rounds.
بعمران وش هالشيري؟
Again, no flashes going to that site, so in the post it comes so easy for C9 to play this.
And no scan backside either. We've had a similar conversation on Corrode, and there you kind of see it would be significantly easier if there was a scan, but only one back there. He's able to take the fight and win it out.
So Oxy online in round one, sitting 3-0 after a poor performance versus Sentinels. This is exactly how he wants to start it off. One's all right, I suppose, but Io has managed to hang out inside that smoke back towards spawn.
There's a flashback site. The smokes to make sure there's no one ahead of it. Very nicely done.
بس اكسبيرينس توب صحتك. ايش عشيري كيوكي ايش؟ الدراري اللي كاينين في اللايفات الاخرين حنا راه مجموعين في تويتش. الدراري كاملين كيتجمعوا عندي في تويتش. بانوا راه كاين اللينك في الشات. والدراري اللي في تويتش سيروا ضربوا طله في الجهات الاخرين. الله.
To Cloud9 as Mitch gets 2 on the round, about halfway to having his ult online.
Not too shabby for him.
No, not at all.
To be fair, Cloud9's comp, one of the reasons why I think the Sky has sort of fallen out of favor, even though it was pretty strong back and fast on top of just nerfs and type things like this, this comp from Cloud9 has no real get-up-and-go ultimates. You know, you've got a lockdown, I suppose, but that can be countered out by Hunter's Fury on the other side.
Sure.
You just don't have that same power to breach a site like you get out of something like the Yoru on the other side.
انا رجيت من يوتيوب تعود نشاب عمران ولا لا مقعود مرحبا بك تشو
actually hold on to that forward A control.
100 Thieves do have 2 players posted over there right now, prepared to fight for that very same space.
I think we saw actually a couple days ago it was 100 Thieves on this map that allowed that short walk up behind the wall versus G2, and then Austin is shot in the back of the head while he's trying to hold solo down long. So these are going to be the adjustments 100 Thieves have had to make. They've been exploited.
انا عندي اكسس ليش؟
Had some time to try and work on it.
Couple of trips, Kess's utility will make this hit significantly harder.
شو كيفاش بو inactivité الو؟
Makes his way through. Vic on high, paranoia, drops down. This double dive essentially for Kess is too much.
That was so clean from Vic, entering the site, using the util, playing it off it is
so
well. Just everything for Cloud9 and 100 Thieves are.
دابا انا ما نقدرش نبان في ريكومونداسيون عرفتي علاش الدراري؟ عرفتي علاش ما نقدرش نبان في ريكومونداسيون حيت هذايا فيه دي ام سي اي.
100 Thieves are really taking their time.
كيفاش inactivité
because they haven't seen
اش عليا صاحبي نقولوا له داوي.
Spending 5, 10, 15 seconds. It's about time to go.
All right, time is precious here.
نعاودوا اللايف والله شي نعاود دين امو.
Wow, I like this from Vic. He's playing inside of 100 Thieves' own one-way, and the time is starting to go.
Ratty, a little spot, 1 for 1. Again, the clock has been ticking for a while. They're calling the save.
Hello?
This is a disastrous start for 100 Thieves.
A round 3 save.
ولا خليه صافي حنا تيستين دابا صافي فهمنا الكونسيكس دابا فهمت الكونسيبت غنقادو لها بلانا مزيان دابا هنا مزيانه ليا نقدر نبدا ندير اي ستريم هنا في تويتش دابل اوكي صافي مزيانه الدراري مزيانه هاد لانفور
And ladies and gentlemen, that's Net. that is the demon. That is the menace that he has become.
That's Net at like a 4 out of 10. Yeah, we've got a lot of room to go in this series.
نخليوه يوتيوب اللي مرتاح حيت عندي عندنا لاكسيفي. وباغي نبدا نديرو داكشي اوريجينال ديالنا في يوتيوب في تويتش في كيك.
One quick difference here. Cryo has already TP'd over. Xander's close by as well. Last time they bullied Kess. This time he's got help. He's got reinforcements. And Oxy peeks on the other side of the smoke, able to get the kill onto Kess, but Xander there for the counterpunch. EU pops his Hunter's Fury. And it's Bedlam on the site.
That ultimate to assist from EU is critical. Brings things down to even 2-on-2. So then the question becomes, how can Austin get back into the site? Hasn't been critical in the round so far, but already has opened things up.
Chris before it, Net could pop off in between rounds, but can he do it now? A 1v2. Already spotting Asuna, forced to take that fight. Very nicely done by that duo of Asuna and EU.
He was talking a big game, maybe came a little bit too early for Net, with Asuna getting back into the site. And this is a round where I think both teams had different ideas to come into the C side.
باي ذا واي غنتفرجوا في ماب وحده اخوتي اللي جايين عندنا دابا يتفرجوا غنتفرجوا في الماب الاولى. عندنا شي خديمات نديروهم دابا مع الدراري ديال بي اس ال ما عندنا الوقت. غدا راه غنبان في تويت الصباح صافي. وبالليل نديروا شي كيكاوي بانت ليه.
Raining in kills for 100 Thieves that keep them alive in the round.
Yeah, and that tells me that 100 Thieves are going to want to do these like brawly floods. Forget about trying to fight through the retake. You're going to flood out onto the site and deny before it even happens.
Yeah, that's what you want with this double duelist comp, the fast rotates of the Yoru and the Neon. The issue that can
هو فاغوس وتريبل اكس ال. المحور الثاني هما كاين شي شياتره في السيرفر. الا كاين شي اونر يقول لك واحد القضيه انا كنقولها كاين شي شياتره في السيرفر خصنا نطيروهم. والمحور الثالث هما ستريمرز غفاسه بوكسعه دارناس انا فودكا صابيري كابلان. هاد ستريمرز خاصني ندرك معاهم ونفهمهم ان دابا اتس تايم انهم كلهم يحترموا الرولز واللي ما يحترمش الرولز غيتبارا في ستريمو.
عود هاد اللعيبه.
فيما غتشوف الستريمرز غادي تنسى شي واحد وغتبدا داير كيقول لك واش فيوز هذا عنده 2000 هذا 3000 ستريمرز كاملين.
واو باش نكونوا واقعيين صافي. صافي نحوا لي وفجروها.
Will buy just enough time.
This is a huge round from Oxy on the Bladestorm. That kill down long, staying alive, getting the trade into Garage, now challenging the spawn line.
But how much more can the Surgeon Scalpel find? Make that 3. Mitch takes the 4th. Cloud9, take another.
سوري بابا نحاول. ترى تعذب وراه هو معذب الصاط معاهم والله. زعما انا جنوب هذاك الشيء ديالو انا رفاس فهمتيني انا كرفاس معاهم في كيك ولكن برو راه ما يمكنش تساكن شحال معذبين. تدخل دير الايربول ولا تبقى تهز لها من بنادم فهمتيني. انت تجي دير الكونتوني ديالك وتجي تبقى حاضي بنادم فهمت.
Early timeout from Zix here. I mean they're down 3 rounds, yes, but not really wanting to let this get out of hand, I guess.
I think we've been seeing this from Zix when early swing rounds are lost, when their econ is shattered. He likes to call these timeouts when it's a light buy 400 Thieves. And you even think back to yesterday's match versus Evil Geniuses. There have been a lot of
دراري خسر نبقى نشوف الميساجات ديالي والله.
The loss versus G2, they were able to win a lot of light buy rounds. So oftentimes these have been very effective for the team, and Austin has got some tools to play with, right? You've got the Neon ulti. There's definitely some more aggressive ideas 100 Thieves can operate with on that plan. But their sheriffs have also just been very sharp when they are in play.
You just saw Amy there on his screen with this, on your screens, excuse me, with his special book. That's gotten them up 3 rounds, light buy on the side of 100 Thieves, as you mentioned. But you imagine Austin Azult will be a part of the conversation here in just a few moments.
You'd also expect 100 Thieves maybe to start flipping up the Cypher on this eco round. Kess is already headed towards A. But with the amount of bullying that's been going on towards C, C9 getting free reign over Garage, I like that already 100 Thieves have an idea to fight a little bit more towards mid.
Is there a crunch here?
I think it's a walk down initially, using the Sheriff to hold window. Not even that. This is now the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen Net drop this orb on front B. Very strong lurk orb, because if Cypher utility isn't on B, a player can walk out the left side or the right side. And what that does is it forces 2 members of 100 Thieves to play on the B site whenever the orb goes up. Otherwise, there's always going to be these gaps of information. But when 100 Thieves are already stacking 2 players towards the A site, you leave huge question marks in Garage, and if you rotate off of B, again, that starts to open up.
Cloud9 making a little bit of noise towards A. where really all of the defense of 100 Thieves currently lie in wait.
But I think this is just good calling from Cloud9. Show that presence, expect 100 Thieves to overstack on the light buy. So again, they can move back towards C, where Garage has historically been weak. And they can contact in as soon as they don't see anything. It's going to be very evident that the rest is empty. Once there's no tripwire here, nobody's on site.
Right, a flash into Garage, and they mosey out onto C with no resistance.
But a flood from Xander.
Yeah, but the dam that is Cloud9 right now is just too strong.
Asuna can sprint all he wants, actually sending the ultimate. C9 not expecting it at all.
Hang on, they've got the wall up too. Keep an eye on Zappa on the minimap. He's well out of the play here now. Will be in a position to contribute. Net joins the fray.
And for a moment, it's like 100 Thieves are spread out so they can get some silly kills. They can find one there.
That's another silly kill.
That is a gun on the ground, but with no smokes alive from 100 Thieves. Actually, I tell a lie. There's 2 cages for Cass. Playing long may end up costing C9.
Time is so short, but they're going to go for it.
100 Thieves need pressure on the spike immediately.
First shock into Covey, not connecting. EU winning out the fight. Cass has already got half.
Wait, they're not sticking. Now they are. Yeah.
Who's going to stick it?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
احسن واش بارتي واش الصلاير بقيتيني كنصيفط ميساج كنحناش يجبد فودكا ولا الياس غادي يدير عليه انقلاب خاص غير يجبد فودكا ولا الياس شكون هو هذا
Those cages last long enough to full stick the spike.
And so what was their flaw there? What went wrong? Were they just not aggressively fighting on site enough?
Yeah, you just literally cannot fall back into long, because then it becomes a 50-50, do you win the spam?
Right.
But inside the cage and where the spike was planted, there's full range to defuse the spike from.
Oh gosh, they're pushing down long too. 4 members of 100 Thieves.
This is the first aggro look for 100 Thieves here though, held by Vic.
Has to be careful here.
I don't think C9 saw more than 1 or 2 players though, so they're not speeding up into B like you maybe would have expected. Dog doesn't see anything A short, so they're fairly cautious on the approach.
A flash and some high ground from the duelists. Vic is not far behind, and here comes the flood again.
ماشي والو انا ما كذبش عليك انا هاد الجيم والله ما شو با كونسيرني بها بزاف ترسم يا اخي شلمبر فهمتي هادي مديوره لكم انتوما باش تفرجوا ودوه بالعربيه وما يقمعكم حتى واحد وما يسبكم حتى واحد هادشي علاش كندير انا اصلا واتش بارتي دوبي دي زاني
Zappa's got to be able to relieve some pressure. That's exactly what he does. No paranoia in play here. The flash from Cryo will buy a little bit of time. What can Mitch do? The swing out from the window, and Mitch gets 2.
وزيدك هذا معلم.
That'll get it done for C9. Even with all the pressure of the fast flood on the retake. To me, it looked like 100 Thieves had the right idea. Get in quickly before the next cycle of Viper smoke. And yet, this fight here, bit silly from Xander. And then no one can really find
ما تعشكش كنخربق كنتي كتكتب بلي كول ميز وصافي
into the open.
كنتي كتكتب ونسيتي راسك دوزنا الموضوع بقيتي كاتب على الموضوع هاني دابا
sort of the story of this game.
Asuna is taking this really aggressive line with Cryo close by. The flash out is
هاني جاب كيل ديالو
Yeah, the pistols and
C9 for the win. تا 100 lose.
And now look at mid. 2 players stepped outside garage. Zappa spots it out.
Cass had a rifle.
Yeah.
Maybe Xander can scoop it up. He will. No armor on the remaining members of 100 Thieves.
Okay, they have 3 players.
Seekers in the 1v3 is just checkmate as well. Perfect info.
I mean, we just had that, what feels like 2 rounds ago.
I mean, when Mitch has 10 kills in 7 rounds, he'll take it.
That shock will hurt. EU's playing just on the other side of the smoke.
Yeah, players in short and long, though, is really uncomfy for C9.
There's danger here. 2 rifles have been grabbed by 100 Thieves.
Oh, so let's just go into their spawn. Why not, C9?
40 seconds left. Xander with a lot to do, and he hears...
ما شافوش!
Yeah, EU has preempted this as well. He's already into garage. Perfect timing from him, even with just the classic. Even Cryo coming in for some pressure.
What the fuck?
Even fully commit over to the space, but do they expect the player in window?
You should run.
Cloud9 are on thin ice. They have to be careful. No, they had no idea. It's EU who had the classic. An earthen pod among brass, and that nets the kill.
The lockdown will slow it down. 100 Thieves both coming in from C-Link, and Cryo alone front B. This fight against Mitch is everything.
He's got so many angles he has to check. He's outnumbered. He's out of position. Off the clone, tries to swing, tries to...
واو جابوها في دقيقة 90 جابوها في دقيقة 90 اللي طال حبيبي باركم ما درنا هذيك الدونو كليب
That call comes in from Xander, hearing the footsteps going towards B. He makes a mad dash into garage window. Completely unexpected. He also, remember, spent the Hunter's Fury at the start of the round.
Right.
And he's done that a few times in previous games.
صافي السنان عارفة تدوز اجنس ياه تيقي في راسهم اسوبوام مرة في الشهر ندير الريسوب ونخبر ولاش كتخبر اصاحبي مبقاش بانس مبقاش بانس يعني تتشابا اللي طال المهم اجي سلم هذا هو المهم كتجي كتجلس كتقول السلام باقي بسباختك ما مبدلش ما فيكش النفاق مرحبا بك عشيري ويلي
I mean, I still think the game plan for Cloud9 is working.
الصباح ولا شي ستريمات بلا شي انا عندي كنكون خدام ولا ناعس لا صاحبي كنستريمي حتى بالليل كنستريمي لهيه بالليل اصاحبي الا ما لقيتينيش هنا ادخل لهيه بعض المرات ما كنطلقش هنا عاد كنمشي لهيه فهمت
And you know, it reminds me of what you were saying earlier around the Thrifties, that 100 Thieves seem to have a knack for converting.
They do, and I really do think it's been EU so consistently. You look at all of playoffs, even the loss versus G2, EU has been an incredible performer, consistent.
Yeah.
One of the best fraggers every single game. His utility, excellent.
He has been their rock.
And that's been mostly on the fade, but already here on the Sova, stepping up to the plate in crunch time.
11-4 right now. Trying to lead his squad through a comeback.
انا معاكم اليوم اوف ما قدامش مرحبا انا من الصباح وانا مستريمي اليوم الحد ما كاين حد ياك اليوم الحد اليوم الحد
Cryo is here.
And a trip will help.
He kind of shies away from it though.
الدراري اللي كيفولوو وكنشوفكم تحياتي ويلكم تو ذا ستريم
Clear it out. And then they can
انا دخلنا في اثنين
25 seconds in the round, already a trip broken. Now C9 though need to freeze, probably put some pressure into re-clearing short. Mitch never used the dog, and he's always going to hold on to that. The re-clear though, oh no,
قالت لي نهار ونسالي الاوف يعني الخدمة الفلوس خير الله يطلع الفلوس فهم ناس انا راه كنقول انا راه الصراحه لا سيمين كان دونك انا مونس انا اصلا ما غدا غنستريمي الصباح هنا في تويتش لعبوا فالورانت هنا الصباح في تويتش ونقدر نفيق نلعب شي جو اخرى باش تفهم تفيقوا تلقاوني لاعب شي جو الدراري باش تفهموا ما ارجع ليا مات ستريمات العشاويات وكيك نستريميو بالليل فهمت
Do you think are they misplacing the value that they're placing into controlling A main at the beginning? You think it's
I think controlling A lobby is incredibly important on this map, and you have to prove that you can do that on the defense.
Sure.
The issue I think 100 Thieves are running into is how awkward it is to fight around this attacking Viper wall. Because you could see EU had made it over to A short in time to try and set up a crossfire idea with his Neon. There's even a paranoia Xander that's trying to catch some players in lobby too. So they had tools to fight with. It's just both of those fights end up being completely 1v3 out of 100 Thieves because the wall cuts them right down the middle.
And so why they continue to try to solve the Rubik's Cube that is this Viper's Wall in A main, or they just try to control the other areas of the map, I guess.
Yeah, and you'll see it here again. The dog for Mitch, it's great pathing too, because Asuna thinks, oh, the dog's going short, I have a timing. No, gets caught. And then EU not in position to trade again.
Yeah.
So the adjustment from 100 Thieves. Don't miss Oxy, come on. The adjustment from 100 Thieves needs to either be get in front of the wall and post there with an op with probably your Yoru.
Oh no, they're going back to bullying back C. Double dive once more, Oxy first. Vic close by, striking where it hurts. Vic gets two, and this is the round.
The CXX are just unbeatable. Austin has come into the site. It's a Stinger, though.
A Stinger into a 2v5. I mean, a weapon upgraded for the Duelist.
Okay. It's a 2v3 now. Out of nowhere.
Opportunity to make
لسه
something out
تشو
of it.
بيتشو.
That's another one.
يلا.
Perhaps opportunity to pull another rabbit out of the hat for 100 Thieves. And that's Zeppa spotted. They know where he is, but Net's position concealed. Now given away. They've got to get on the spike here. I don't... Just a tap. Patience on the swing, but it still falls into a 1v1. Asuna tries to take the fight to Zeppa's doorstep and will.
No time.
Not enough time.
الو شكو هذيك اللي يشير والو ار بي باقي ما انستاليش 5 ام الساط اليوم غادي كلشي مع السيم كاع داكشي اللي متفقين والسيم غنديرو اصلا خصنا ندخلو بعدا نديرو جي تي ار سميتو اونلاين غنبدا كل ستريم نشوف الدراري اللي كيلعبوا الار بي ياك نجيو نبداو يلعبوا معايا جي تي اونلاين اونصومبل نبداو نديروها دابا انا قربت نسالي ستوري لا ماشي اليوم لا انا قربت نسالي ستوري الدراري
His teammates are popping out of smokes back CT or garage and getting 2 or 3 kills unassisted.
And so they've moved him to A like we saw a couple of rounds ago.
I think this is good. They can ignore the A lobby space a little bit more, not get caught on the reclears. Just bunker in behind it, but how many rounds of 100 Thieves?
Slayer قلدك ها زاهية.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the same anti-eco.
You're right, with just Xander playing a little bit solo C. Now, EU does have Hunter's Fury again for the light buy.
Right.
C9 wasting less time, maybe playing in towards C long.
Right.
Getting ready, maybe even hearing that jump peek. Here we go.
Remember how good they've been in these thrifties, and this is a far cry from that. They have a Guardian, they have a Phantom.
Cloud9 were expecting the trap play to actually be there. Now actually probably going to head back into the Cypher side.
2 trips, 1 down short, 1 down long, and a cam on site.
As soon as the dog sees the tripwire, it's just full steam ahead. They know this side of the map's going to be light. Didn't actually get the info, so they slow things down a bit. It'll be a fake hit into the site. Mitch throwing his last bird while the rest of his team plays garage.
This could be a problem. There are 3 members of the defense here.
20 seconds.
Asuna pops the ult, swings out. Fit clotheslines him on the other side. Remember, the spike is here. They're going to get out, but they're going into 2 more on
site. Kess is still in the smoke. Kess is still on site.
Oxy has high ground. Kess is dealt with. Cloud.
Bro, this is so coordinated عشير. This is so coordinated كيفاش ميتش غيبيكي على ود اوكسي باش يتشيكي هيفن حيت الاخر ضرب ايجي ووصل سايت باش يبلونطي. درياش كيضحكوا زين. هذا كلشي كوردينيتد الصاد. ما يمكنش. سايفر قود ايرلي انفو. سايفر كيبقى سايفر الدراري. سايفر كيبقى سايفر ولكن خوتنا مكونترينو واحد الكونتر هارد. واش ايمن؟ واش هادشي؟
It's very likely.
And again, if Kess gets 1 kill there, everyone on site, you stop planting the spike. Oxy, who's boosted up,
ديال البي ديالي جبت كيفاش جبت لي البي ديالي الساب تيسير تبقاو تجبدوا فيا غنبدا نقول لكم انسبيراسيون جينيراسيون كاين بنادم كيقول لي لعب شي حاجه اخرى من غير السايفر انت ازرق سير صاحبي سير وليتو دابا تقارنوا معايا الزرقين دابا
Kess was already looking at Oxy. I mean, that's like a second difference on the round. So into the last round of the half we go. Ult for you, as you mentioned in the previous round, 13 and 7 for him.
But Kess is back to playing C. C9 challenging here early on. If they realize it again, I don't see what exactly stopping them from the pop.
Xander's here, the TP for
Carlos
has already rotated C.
Yeah, he's on that side. But 100 Thieves have 2 players up into A.
مشى دوك الايام ديال سكاي خي كنتي الا اختاريت سكاي سافي دير كو صافي مطري هارد الا لعبت بسايفر سافي دير كو باغي ندير الكونتوني للدراري فؤاد ناضي بالرجوله دابا فؤاد دابا بقى عاود بسكاي كيطير بسكاي ولكن با ايمن باقي ما تفرجتيش بسكاي ديالي باش تفهم كان الماطي تا هو مقود في المغاربه صاد بسكاي من بعد مابقاش كيلعبها وليت كنلعبها انا بزاف دابا كنقولوا فؤاد هو اكثر سكاي كتعجبني انا دابا هو فؤاد باقي خصو واحد اللعيبات يبدلهم في ستيل دو جو ديالو غيولي مقيود كيف كنقولوا العشيوه
Xander connects, but now the pit in play. It's a mess here on the site. Austin on the flank as well. EU's in the pit. EU's in the pit, but he's dropped. What is happening? Xander tries to provide a little bit of value up on top of Jenny. And Zeppa understanding there is threat, cannot find the target. Net left in a 1v4.
جابوا عليهم 8-4.
100 Thieves just went full chaos mode. Xander's doing hardcore parkour on the top of site, while the rest of the team is just.
انا الصراحه كان علي نكمل في تراي هارد انا بالرجوله كان خصني تراي هاردي بزاف في ديك الوقيته هذا.
Creative idea from EU. The Hunter's Fury to cancel out the dog, and it sends Cloud9 into disarray.
اخي تويش ندرك تراي هارد اما بخاطر السلافريه لا حتى دابا مازال الوقت ما عرفتش اودي ما عرفتش I feel like I don't have الكوميتمنت اللي عند الدراري دابا في الجو برو. انا كنلعب فور ذا فان فهمتيني. فالو جيم بدات كيحماض تشيترز كثروا.
Game changers. We're making history. It means so much to us.
The beauty of gaming is it doesn't matter who you are, but as long as I'm good enough, I can go as far as I want.
全世界都会知道我们的厉害。
دراري صيفطونا لكوريا عاوتاني عاودوا صيفطونا لكوريا الدراري عاوتاني نتفرجوا الدريات والله حتى مزيانه الصا اسميرف يور بيك خويا اوديم ما حدك ما لعبتيش معايا يو دونت سميرف ماي بيك يو سميرف بوان غتكون الدريه ديالك يس عندك معايا كاميرامان اخي غتمشي لباري باقي ما جاتني لا انفيتاسيون لا والو سو ما غنديرهاش في راسي تتصدق فهمتي عيطوا عليا هي هذيك ما عيطوش عليا صافي بيس غنجيو غنديروا واتش بارتي ديالنا غير هو ما غنديروهمش هنا غنديروهم في السيبر فهمنا نديروا واتش بارتي عائليه فرحتي هاد المسكين سافر في دارهم فالو راه بقى فيها الضو تخاف غير عيطوا لك مع 5 الصباح بحال لا شي اي دبليو سي البروبليم كان عاوتاني دان كوطي مني انا ما شفتش الفيزا امتى قالوا لي راه خصنا تصويره مقاده الوغ هما خاصهم 7 جوغ باش يقادوها انايا كانت عندي غير 5 جوغ داكشي علاش ما كنتش غادي ديك النهار هما بحال كتقول فورساوها وعيطوا عليا دابا بحال دابا انا نورمالمون كنت نمشي داك النهار مع 9 الصباح ما مشيتش حتى لوحده الليل فهمت انا كنت انفيتي راه غير الفيزا اللي طرا فيها المشكل والواعره شنو نعاود لكم نكته الدراري سولتهم قلت لهم علاش ما عيطوش عليا زعما الفي سي ال نمشي ندير واتش بارتي كدا اللعيبات نديرو كونتوني تماك في السعوديه وان سكند اش قالوا لي كتحابوا الفيزا ديالك فيها سينجل انتري وانا الفيزا ديالي فيها دابا هادشي دابا حتى في سبتمبر نقدر نمشي للسعوديه اخباركم هاد ديروا شي دوري شي كره الدراري يمشيو يضربوا العبره يضربوا شي عبره ديروا شي دوري شي جول نضربوا العبره الدراري
intentionally tried bullying C, tried bullying Kess, and well, it worked. 2 and 10 at halftime, but for that to be exposed the way that it was and to still only be down 4 rounds going into the attack side of Haven almost feels good in a way. I mean, maybe not good.
I wouldn't give it
not
good.
terrible.
It doesn't feel terrible per se.
Sure.
I think these rounds have been getting so muddy at the end in typical C9 fashion that there's always some sort of an angle to fight on through. That angle for 100 Thieves here is going to be down C long where there's a single nano swarm to defend.
I love that trip. Covers both short and long.
Yeah, these delayed trips from the Sentis, even one put out after round start in mid for earlier info of the B-pop and to stop anyone from getting into Cubby.
Cass has to understand there's a lot of threat behind this. He hears the dog, he knows the trip has been cleared. He's tucking.
Ooh, I think that could have seen him.
Yep, he's trying to get out. Meanwhile, Xander pushing forward, trying to help out a little bit. Paranoia is trading.
بداو نعيطوا لك عمري الحاج لا انتوا تعيطوا علي الحاج بزوي.
And now the dash out from Oxy. Trying to play aggressively, trying to take this fight, but there's a crunch coming in from
دونيسن غا اشاعه ولاو اشاعه دابا مي كاين بنادم اللي كان كيتعامل كان اللي كيدير دونيشن وكيتعامل انا هارستاك اسوندو مره واحده ضربت امورتال انا 3 المرات ضربت امورتال وهارستاك ديام دونك بالي كل مره كتضرب امورتال كتهبط فريمك نصيحه اخي هاد بر اكس خليك في خليك في الاسوندون اش قودها تطلع عاوتاني الامورتال تهبط بريك غتعاود تطلع الامورتال غتعاود تهبط بريك ما تحاولش سعداتك بكيتي امورتال سير تطلق عليا تشاي سير اصاحبي سير تطلق عليا داك السلاير تزبي سير وليتي متواضع فيها زايده بزاف وياه نقدر نقول لك من الاولانيين اللي ضربوا امورتال 3 في المغرب وكيكذب علينا دابا شي من الاولانيين اللي ضربوا امورتال 3 في المغرب وطالق علينا اخي اودي ماشي كيقول لك لا نو ريدين انا عمرني ضربت ريدين ما عنديش النيفو حتى امورتال قال لي الريدين
I mean, they don't have any guns here to do this.
But honestly, all Cloud9 are trying to do in these early rounds is set up the idea that these flanks could be coming online, down in the minds of 100 Thieves, because in the future rounds, once they should not be flanking. Their Viper utility playing behind that.
هادو دي ستريمر ماروكان برو بلاير فهمتي مي ستريمر ابار المرحوم جو بونس با ابار المرحوم ما كاينش شي واحد يضربها لا ما كاينش شي ستريمر اللي يضرب ريديان جاكس مغربي عمر بالي شي ستريمر اللي غير كيستريمي ماشي برو بلاير ما كيلعبش الجو بزاف كان واحد الدري غابر اندرغراوند ياه اندرغراوند ونسيتي سميتو كره دابا اكتشفناه صات سي9 كيتروي ولا جاب لي الله
Any more bullets you want to shoot in there, 100 Thieves? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Cryo will gladly do so.
Oh,
hello. Right. Okay.
كذب عليه والله تكذب عليه برا.
That's where there could be a little issue for 100 Thieves because Cass is a guy that doesn't play 4 lurks too often. He's playing that solo short angle, ready to pop out into the A site. So C9 already have 3.5 players onto this site already. Can respond quickly.
Asana's gone out by himself. He's got like 2 HP. I mean, a stiff breeze knocks him over, but he swings and gets a kill anyway.
What?
Xander falls.
ما ماتش صاحبي ترى باقي ما ماتش هذا.
Vic from hell gets a couple of his own.
شي فيك تي بي.
On the other side, remember his woes in the first half. Forgotten now.
What the fuck?
Gets a 7. Now those are some kills I can get behind, Doug. Cass clutching up.
وديما دار بيغ كو ترو هذا كيبان لي يا صاحبي. Vraiment, c'est juste des gens qui veulent juste jouer. C9 بالضبط الصاد باغينا يلعبوا صاد برو هادي راه ما يمكنش هادي يبقى حي صاد
Again, I mean, this kill was perfect, but Asuna swinging out weak.
واو جيبي كونغ فو باندا.
And so 100 Thieves are on 7, Cloud9 are on a busted buy. They've got a stinger in the hands of Zeppa.
قال لي صعيب نمشي في شي جيم خاصك تكون بحالي اللي طال كليب فارمر في كاع لي جيمز.
But Thrifties, I think that's the big one here.
That's about keeping it clean now. We'll see if 100 Thieves just want to make it a for sure thing. Cryo always has the ultimate to clear away the close spots. Cass is not ready.
Oh no.
And 100 Thieves were just about to come back into him, so it's a little early from the rookie. Now this drone comes in, sees the jet down long, but doesn't tell them anything more. And there's already 4 players stacked into C.
هادشي كامل حيت جاب جيت كيل كونتش من تايلاند باش مشيتش بوكسعه شيري انا ما عنديش فلوس ديال بوكسعه انايا عاود عليه سوبي عدو كنا ندبروا على العاق هنايا اللي كيضرب بوكسعه باش يمشي لتايلاند وديك الساعه تقول لي دير لنا كونتوني من تايلاند سير دير كونتوني من كوريا والسعوديه سير عاود تفرج فيه
They're gonna flush him out. Oxy has no dash. There we go. He's just gonna take this.
ما عندناش العاقه هنا ماشي ديما هنا عندنا العاقه.
Smoke into the swing he used there to greet him. Meanwhile, Cloud9 trying to do a bit of the same of what 100 Thieves were doing to them, flooding out onto the site, but they do not have the guns to do so.
100 Thieves واش يضحكوا معاه والله سير 100 Thieves كسم ما بغاش يضحكوا معاه.
Great work out of EU in that round. Things get messy once they lose Kess, but calling the freeze and holding his ground. I think as soon as he realized that C9 on the eco round aren't actually stepping.
لا اكثر منك. انت واش كتسحب هادي اللاقه هالطابوه هالطابوه شحال كتقول عندي في باكا يلا شحال كتقول عندي الفلوس وكذا اش كتقول 1 مليون شكون كتب عليكم الدراري شكون قال لكم عندي 1 مليون في الار بي شي 5 مليون
Not curious whatsoever. They've got their attention elsewhere.
Yeah, if they come back into A, it'll be now with EU's drone.
عندي 150 درهم في البنك اشيل و100 دولار في باي بال. هذا هو الراس مالي. هذا هو راس مالي في حياتي دابا. فين هما الفلوس؟ يلا. فين هما الفلوس الدراري؟ جو. يلا فين هما الفلوس؟ صافي ديك 50 اخويا باش غنكوموندي انا ديك 50 هي اللي كناخذ بها كباب كناخذ بها كباب هذيك سطيتها يجمع شي من ستريمينغ هذا الوقت كامل باش كتسحبني كنجمع انا عندي مسؤوليه يا اخي هالطامو واو السيد عندي 30 عام ياك ما تسحبني بديت عندي 17 عام هالطامو واش مسطي هذا شنو اوديم هذا تلقاه كان عند سكيني جالس ياك ولاحو شي لعيبه عندها علاقه بشحال جمعنا في ستريمينغ حياتنا كامله ياك وتيق عندي 5 مليون دابا في الكريبتو والله ما عندي الكريبتو عمرني درت داكشي انا الدراري مبارك اخي ايمن عمرني انفيستيت في داكشي اصلا لا 5 مليون شي في غدا فيه ناقص 5 مليون شي في غدا فيه بجوج فهمتي نسينا الدري بروفيسيونيل نسيت بالزويه كهيد علي العين خي سلاير خبارك راه بسببكم نتوما صحابي كتضحكوا معايا بهاد الجمله ولاو الجيران كلخ كيسحبوها بصح والله خايب بلا ما تبقى تقول شنو هي هاد او تي اش الساط والله ما عرفتها غوسي بون ماتش من رودريغو فكرني نتفرجوا فيها فكرني ما تفرجتش انا في هاد اللعيب عمله في كريبتو ذوقوني منها نتوما عارفين هادشي نتوما كتقولوا عندي الفلوس وانا ما عارفش هادشي كاع منين دبرتوا عليه هادشي الدراري
Oxy's proc the dash. He's expecting a challenge and it's not going to come.
Flash doesn't get a tag either. That was from Cryo actually.
عندك داسيا عندي الله سبحانه وتعالى عندي رجليه والله سبحانه وتعالى
And Mitch flashed down short and got a tag. So he should
حنا علمنا صاحبي دريت مشى راجل هذا والله اخي ايمن ما كان شوف شي اي حاجه عندها علاقه بالكريبتو الفلوس وداك الشيء ما توقعش خوك بزوي كيفهم فيها بزاف فهمت انا كنفهم في القرايه الخدمه ندويو في شي موضوع اما بدو معايا علاش يجي الكريبتو انفيني اكسي الانفينيتي هي الحاجه الوحيده اللي كنت كنعرف اكسي انفينيتي هي الحاجه الوحيده اللي كنت كنعرف ومالي قلت ليها انت كتقود علاه فيها شي 300 درهم باقا حاصله عندي في الباينانس ديالي علاش واش حيت كريبتو حرام لا حيت انا ما كنانفيستيش في داكشي انا ما عنديش مع داكشي برو بنادم عنده فلوس كي انفيستي في داكشي انا لا ما عرفوا واش حرام ولا حلال راك عارف حاجه وحده اللي حرام هي القمر عارف سي دابا غير غتعادون ما عندوش دوك الارقام اخي مقدم والتداسيه ما كايناش باقي ساكن ما دارنا اخي ليطال وصبحوا على خير هفان تحياتي اوديم ثانك يو فور باسين بايا شيري تلاقاو غدا الصباح تلقاني لاعب فالو انا مطري هارد روحي
you're mentioning they had almost over-rotated into that.
Yeah, but Vic, I mean, going back to the C site, no problem for Cloud9, so it'll be 100 Thieves calling a bit of a timeout. Number one issue to deal with is the Jet operator, which I think they did a great job with in the previous round.
Agreed.
You know, knowing that Oxy is never a guy that's going to fall back to a passive angle. He wants to get back out into the space.
الواعر شنو الدراري؟ قلت صيفط ميساج.
But now I think for 100 Thieves, they've realized in these last two rounds, it's the post plant where it's an issue.
انت اخي بغيت تصيفط ميساج الواي فاي ما خدمش في التليفون علاش ما عرفتش.
Right, no one's holding that. Yeah.
These are easy issues to have in the thick of things, right? Just someone didn't realize that was their responsibility. They're not proactively
I
think Zix needs to make sure the team is thinking about as they're hitting the site, who's got what line, especially in the more spread out or chaotic rounds.
تفوش على التليفون ولا تفوش على الواي فاي؟
Hard things to communicate and figure out in the chaos of a site hit, in the chaos of a retake. But you're right, it's those little things that have them at 2 rounds down.
تليفون كامل زعما. خليتيه يديشارج لا.
Making it very complicated.
كامل.
No real choice there for Oxy.
غير نصو.
100 Thieves, Zix calls show the same presence in A lobby this time, except instead of just sitting 4 players there waiting for the Jet reclear, we're now going to move towards B. Oxy has a similar idea to not actually go for the re-challenge, now switching positions with Vic.
Restart the telephone. نعيشو مع سيري. وريستارت the phone. ماشي عيط تاش من عيط. تاش من عيط السيري. قودي.
And Mitch just dominates the lurker.
Wow.
I don't know how
Restart the phone.
I don't know that it is.
تخيل معايا عطوني ولا با ابل نو جو فو با ابل غوست يلا خويا سير تقودي سيري مكلخه.
Just a solid read there.
Eh, tu peux redémarrer mon téléphone s'il te plaît, Siri?
They're going to try to make a slight adjustment to the previous round this time, have a stack towards B, the double nano on main 2 just choose.
عندي البروسه كدوب فرنسا هاي طفاتو. نسيت. عندي البروسه هزلت التلفا.
Xander had to play it perfectly in order to have a chance, and he got his one.
عرفتي شنو تخيلتي هاد الدراري؟
Cloud9 get to 11. Again, this is 100 Thieves map pick. Icebox is lying in wait.
سكتي يرقع down.
They're in a bit of trouble here.
And honestly, attack has been a little bit tough for 100 Thieves in their previous showings. They're a team that actually prefers to play a lot more into the early mid-space, fight for that.
Right.
اليوم باكلك سوبيتا. صراحة لا.
Turning their attention onto A lobby.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, that one slipped through. Don't mind us.
But yeah, this is 100 Thieves' typical default. Always
الجوج المنطقة والناس. الدراري راه تخورنا تخوارة بقودة كل خرج الصباح. لا لا كل خرج الصباح. كنشيو الصباح.
Well, you can't keep going, 100 Thieves. Full Killjoy setup on A, so nobody's home there. There's 5 players between C and B. Good idea to try and get back forward into A lobby, but even then, the double nanos on A plus the Viper Orb, you're going to get stalled out for forever on this side.
And then even if you do manage to get past that, Zeppa has his ult.
Yeah, to force them to play the long lines on the eco of all things.
Time to jump.
C9 kind of used Zix's timeout against them, it seems. Great read in the last round, now playing things completely by the book.
So again, they've managed to clear all of Zeppa's utility here. They got past the nanos, they got past the alarm bots, and now the lockdown becomes...
C9 aren't even worried about a late mid-lurk because Mitch used a flash, didn't ping anyone outside front B, so this lockdown they know can't be destroyed.
Xander and EU find just a bit of cover, just outside of the lockdown, but now you see the flood coming out onto the site. The spit will push them off that early angle. It's a tap the spike. Now a second. A smoke to cover the captain. But he falls, spammed into the smoke. EU gets a second with the shot. Oxy pushing the pace into short. Hello, that's not going to be enough. Vic's got the defuse. He's going to stick it the whole way. And Vic does it again.
والله تفول السيكا وسا what the fuck ضحكوا عليهم وضحكوا عليهم ضحكوا عليهم.
By all accounts have won the round, kill absolutely everyone from Cloud9. But because they're pushed off-site against the lockdown, it's just simply a full stick from Vic. That's what they call him back home.
Yeah, that was his nickname in high school.
I think so.
That defuse was perfect. Oh, and they know they've gotten away with one. Straight into the next round we go. The pit invested down long on a drone to try to clear the way. They're fully investing into this garage hit. That's out of it. And there goes the pit. But Vic has arrived. The paranoia is good. Zeppa cannot play right now as Austin had dashed up just as well. Flashed through. He's behind enemy lines.
صدق كده هاد الاسترات راه ما يمكنش هاد الاسترات راه ما
I don't think
يمكنش
anyone saw anyone. Everyone's blinded up. C9 on opposite ends of the map. Oxy and Mitch have been so good for Cloud9 without a chance to even play the round. And so, okay, I guess 100 Thieves may be the solution, like we saw at the end of Corrode yesterday, is just start running execs.
Fully send it and see what happens. Cryo will get his ult off of planting that spike. You imagine that will be a factor in the next round. Note,
يجيبوها.
the Hunter's Fury Dimensional Drift combo is devastating.
والله كان فلاشيهم بيك الزمن
Yes,
بو
100 Thieves still have to navigate this, but you imagine they will be able to do so just fine.
Yeah. And remember, I think it's important to say Cloud9 don't have really that high impact ults.
Where are you going, Mitch?
Yeah, he's not gonna ninja.
What are you doing there, big guy?
One enemy remaining.
He's out of there. But when it comes to these late rounds where 100 Thieves need to stick 3 in a row together, having those ultimates like you called out does give them a distinct advantage.
It gives them a chance. And the truth is, the gap is not insurmountable. Cloud9 I mean, this map is not secured by any means.
The other thing is, if 100 Thieves just want to go to the Let's Run Hard Exec playbook, Oxy doesn't really get to play the game.
Yeah.
Because that means you're using all of your util at the round start, so there's not pockets for, you know, Oxy to sneak around early slow plays and find a pick. That means you're either pushed away by utility or forced to play.
The ability uses الصاد was on point بالرجوع.
Like to live in those types of situations.
The ability uses was on point بالرجوع للدراري.
That's the solve. Just full down long too with the Dimensional Drift.
The TP out first, the Dimensional Drift, and the Hunter's Fury. Looking for any target that might be found. And Vic gets away. Houdini's himself out of the sight.
Yeah, EU tried to...
كرة بغريب ضربها خلاه مدرب سالي مع فرقة خلاه تلعب مباشرة فيكار ومشى يلعب ماتش سكريم. شكون هذا؟ شكون هذا؟ شكون هذا الله يحفظك؟ شكون هذا العالي مدري دار هاد اللقطة هادي؟
Yeah, 100 Thieves got the sight. There's more left to be done. Cryo turns the flash. It's beautiful, but net counters. EU has to 1v3 to keep this map alive. And that will not be the case this time around. Cloud9 still 100 Thieves map pick on Haven.
Looking good out there in the server as well. I really liked what I was seeing out of Mitch. Even some of the madness he was doing with his bird pathing. Didn't give Cass a chance to go for a lurk, whether it was with his utility or even just hard clearing.
سينان باغيين يدوزو الشامس. باقا تشانس وحده باقي سبوت واحد الدراري شخايف.
On-site retakes. This guy's a menace.
That to me really did feel
دابا
like
إلا السينان ربحو.
especially on the defensive.
دابا إلا السينان ربحو يدوزو اوفيشال الدراري شخايف.
Dude was even sneaking back into sight to tap the spike, and he's a nuisance. He is a nuisance.
He's all over the place.
And it worked out quite well, and I mean, that's for EU. Let's go ahead and say it again. I feel like we're beating a dead horse here. EU was very strong for 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Again,
send the guy some help. He's trying his best out there.
20 and 15, but just not enough. Cloud9 managed to take away Haven, 100 Thieves map pick, and now they go to their domain. They go to Icebox with a chance to send 100 Thieves home and book a date with NRG next week. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break.
Huh, nature sure is full of wonders. Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
Gotta make the dead just make it loud.
كيجبوسي ومبقاش معاهم تخدم في المغرب بصالير اللي انت باغي وتمشي برا البلاد وتبدا اضرب داكشي اللي انت باغي بحال بجوج ديروا باشيرو بجوج يعجبني الحال ديروا فهمتي. هذا بقيت كتفرج بطوله من 2017 تولي تفرج معانا عشير ابدا تفرج معانا كديروا واتش بارتي هنا في تويتش ودابا بدا نديروها حتى في يوتيوب. بقى فيه الحال فاش جلسوا كزافي باش عرفتي انا ما عارفش بقى فيه الحال ما يبقاش فيه الحال دابا راه ماركي وضارب اسيست محال يبقى فيه الحال غادي تصور عليهم دابا دار شي حاجه غنديري واش عشيري وريدون ويلكم تو ذا ستريم. لاباس كيبقى فيه الحال ولكن راه كلشي عارف بلي خاصو يجلس شوجمون باش يتعلم داكشي علاش فاش دخل دار دبس هادشي راه قلنا عام ورص عشيري هادشي يلاه دابا تفكروا تشايبلشي ليه ادي خوتي بالي هو هذا بالي هو هذا الدراري.
You're the coach of Cloud9, Emmy. We love a good stolen map pick. Stealing away Haven from 100 Thieves. We're going to your map pick of Icebox next. I know you're a little kind of coy with this, but can you please give us any indication of what your plan is for Icebox? Do we see that crazy comp again?
Maybe. I'm not going to give too much away, but all I'm going to say is let's not get ecoed.
بعد الخرا اللي كيديروا خصهم ان نتفرج غير كلاسيكو مره تطوان.
Best luck.
لا زعما شوف اتفرج معايا اخي ايمن تفهم علاش غتبدا تتفرج ثق بيا ثق بيا العود غادي تفهم علاش قلت لك هاد الجمله هادي غتبدا تتفرج معانا غادي تنجويها بعالم اخر فهمت غادي تنجويها بواحد الطريقه اخرى. منين او بي اكس نتوما الدراري ديال او بي اكس انا فاش غتفرج معايا في اللعيبات تفرج معايا في عالم اخر غادي ستريم ماتشات الوداد كاملين غالبا غادي تستريبها يس غالبا ولا بالقهوه اي دونت نو خير اللي طال سميه ديال كيكار هذاك كيكار يس اي دونت نو الدراري دابا هنايا فين خصكم تبقاو تفهموا وتشولوا وتقولوا فين هو البلان. البلان فيه وما عليه. انا جبوس بشي كاع الماتشات في التيران لا بيان سور ديال التيران ديالنا ما نزقل حتى شي ماتش ان شاء الله الا كانت شي وعكه صحيه ولا ماديه وحدها فيهم هادي شي حاجه اخرى لا